What's happening, guys? I'm Top Table Steve.
And I'm Top Table Ben.
Welcome to another Sunday night Middle Earth SBG live stream.
I'm proper excited for this. I love the last one. I've been looking forward the last couple of weeks for this one.
I think it's a thing now. It's a thing. I think it's a thing.
I think it's a thing.
It's a staple already.
Fingers crossed. Hopefully, I'm loving doing it. I'm loving it, and hopefully you guys are enjoying them as well.
How you doing, guys? I hope you're well. I think I've got up this morning and I was thinking live stream tonight, Middle Earth. I've been in the man cave doing lots of bits and bobs, getting prepped.
I've seen some posters looking good.
Yeah, we're getting there. So you're going to see some tutorials for terrain and boards and things like that coming very, very soon. So, should we see who we've got in?
Let's have a quick look. So far we've got Richard Woods, evening.
Hey, Rich.
I've got Joe Holzman, evening guys.
How you doing,
Joe? And we've got Stephen Devlin, evening lads. Looking forward to listening to the stream over the next hour or two. Currently batch painting Rohan Royal Guard. Excellent. I can imagine far worse Sunday nights, if I'm completely honest.
I remember painting some of my Rohan Royal Guard, and they are gorgeous, gorgeous models. I think you'll agree, but they are a bit of a pig to paint.
Really?
Yeah, there's loads of little bits of detail and stuff on them, but they're lovely models. I like them a lot. I'm just going to check something on here.
Fair enough. Shall I just keep talking to the people
you
then? Whilst you're kind of being antisocial?
You let us know what you've been doing, Ben.
So for since the last stream, I think I said that I was just sort of tidying up and finishing off a load of projects that I had kind of half finished. So I'm pretty much doing the same thing. So I've got a few High Elven Spearmen just to do the highlights on. I painted the old Unarmoured Faramir yesterday.
Yep.
I've started on an Armoured Boromir as well, which I had just one of the resin ones from when I built the mounted version. So it's just a case of like clearing all the old projects still. And I've also been working on my man cave to some extent.
Yes, we're all getting studios at home.
Which we can, we'll
discuss. We haven't got time to meet up with each other anymore. That's what it is.
It's getting a bit tough. But yeah, so like my home studio. Hopefully, I've got a few bits arriving in the post over the next couple of days, just to kind of build that on that, and hopefully I'll be able to get a few videos done at home and be able to be a little bit more productive, perhaps, than potentially we have been. How about you? What have you been up to this last couple of weeks?
Well, I mean, I sort of touched bases with everyone on Wednesday who tuned in on Wednesday for the Warcry live stream, so thank you very much if you were there. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, since then I have been kind of today mainly. I've spent the whole day in my man cave because the kids went out with the grandparents. Anna, my wife, she was working from home, so she was on a laptop all day. So I thought I've got today before the live stream to do what I've been planning to do for the last few weeks. We're not getting an hour in here and there, but yeah, I got into the man cave today. I've sorted one end of it out, so one end now looks like it's all like white painted brick at the end. I've got my work desk set up and all my bits and bobs for board builds,
and then the other half is just everything that you've
moved. The other half looks like what every other garage looks like. As soon as you open the door, just boxes and crap,
kids' bikes and stuff everywhere.
But you know, as long as you don't see behind the camera, it looks cool.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a bit like this studio, really. I mean, it looks dead professional up on the screen there and stuff, and then you look at that side, and it's just like boards and bits.
One day we'll
models.
Turn the camera around.
Yeah, no, we'll give you like
you'll go.
You know, it'd be like that episode of Crib, like those episodes of Cribs that used to be on MTV, and it's like all looks nice, and you look behind the scenes, it just looks
grim.
Yeah. So there's quite a few more people that have joined in. Should we say hello to some people?
Yeah, let's go for it.
We've got Damien O'Burnin.
How you doing, Damien?
Hi, Damien.
Good to have you, brother.
He's signed in as Damien this time, not as
GBHL. Yeah, what's going on
nice,
there? You start the channel up on your own or something?
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Got Frederick Schultz, Top Table talking tabletop.
How you doing, Frederick?
Wow. Why didn't you choose that name? Anyways, hey there. Got Carl Daly, evening gents.
How you doing, Carl?
Hi, Carl. Is Carl new to the chat?
I think Carl Daly. I don't recognise the name. Is this your first time on one of the live streams, Carl? If it is, let us know in the chat where you're from. I'm assuming you play Middle Earth and how you heard about the channel, and you know if you are involved in any of the events that are across the country. It's Preston today.
It was Preston today.
We'll touch on that later on. But yeah, Preston. It was Charles Sims' event in Preston, which was at Harlequins.
Yes,
Harlequins Gaming Club. So there, that was cool.
Got Scott W. Hi Scott. Antisocial there, Steve. Yes, he was. Stephen Devlin. Agree with Steve about them Royal Guard being tough to paint. Lots of detail and metal models are tough to paint. See, I like anything that's got metal, like metallics on it. I don't know whether I've painted a lot of Minas Tirith when I first sort of started, so I don't know whether I've just got like a bit of an affinity. Anything with like loads of robes and stuff, I tend to dislike.
No, I agree. I do like painting them. Like I really enjoyed, and I've said it before, the Iron Hills Warriors. I really enjoyed painting them, but they were difficult. And I think the difficult thing is when there's so much armour, is making it not look very sort of bland.
Yeah.
And making the bits that aren't armour stand out and look very, very good.
Yeah.
But I mean, the metal models are gorgeous. Just be very careful when you're packing them in and out of your case that you don't scratch them. That's the problem with metal models.
Yeah.
Let's get some new resin ones, Forge World.
That would be lovely.
Be nice.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Got Glyn Seymour in.
How you doing, Glyn?
Evening, lads, he says. Damien finished Forge World Biffa last night and hope to get Bomber done tonight too. That'll complete the Forge World 13 for me. Converted to my first version of the new Tariel too.
Nice.
Excellent.
Very cool. Well, if you feel like sharing, get it in the group and let us know in the chat, and I should be able to get it up on screen and show everybody your fancy work.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're gorgeous. The Forge World dwarves are great.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Do you know, I'm a little bit gutted that I didn't pick them up.
Yeah.
Like, because I thought they'd be around for a while, and then all of a sudden it was.
Have they gone?
Everything's gone.
Can you not get them?
No, it's all just the new. They binned all that off. I'm sure they'll be back at some stage. I'm sure that they might do them as a made to order or something.
Right,
maybe.
I didn't know
but yeah,
that.
they've all gone now. So I'm a bit gutted that I didn't pick them all up.
Yeah.
Mike Blake, good evening all.
How do you,
evening,
Mike?
Green Tree's in. Evening all. It took me a while to find you tonight. Well, we're here. And you're here.
Well, that's what when you were saying I was antisocial, I realised that the stream was unlisted. So I just went and I put it on public now.
Right, there we go.
So if anyone is free and they're at a keyboard and they would like to copy and paste a link from the stream in the GBHL and the Lord of the Rings Rocks groups, I'd be eternally grateful.
That'd be great. Tom Glover, evening lads. Did you end up picking a name for this Middle Earth stream? Should we talk about that later on?
Yeah, we'll touch on that in a bit.
Yeah. Bradata Capelle, you're online. Evening y'all, that is Andrew Cox. Hi buddy,
doing,
great to have you in. It's getting close to his bedtime, so he said he'll be able to watch probably for the first hour or so, then he's going to have to
At
go
least
to bed.
you got to see us before bed, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Because he said, is it 8 o'clock? Because I'll probably be in bed by then. And it's like, well, no, we're going to do it at 7:30. So he said, I might stay up for
Why are you going to bed so early?
Because he's in Bulgaria, so they're like 2 hours ahead.
Right.
So he's like, it's like 10 o'clock when it's 8 o'clock. So it's still early.
Stay up, it's worth
Stay
it.
up,
We'll make it worth your while.
Yeah, exactly.
Ben will.
Reese Taylor, how do?
How you doing,
Hi,
Reese?
Reese. And Daniel Kelly, hello.
How you doing, Daniel? Again, Daniel, have you been in before? If not, let us know where you're from, how you heard of the channel, and I'm assuming, Middle Earth player, what factions you play, etc., etc.
Yeah. Gareth Baller, good evening all. Good
how you doing,
evening,
Gareth? Been a while, Gaz. Where have you been?
Yeah,
Where have you
I'm
been,
sure
my
he's
friend?
been in.
Where have you been, my friend?
He
was at the Battle Companies thing last time.
He was, yeah, but no, because I think he came in later. I think they all scrapped off.
Oh, did he?
For the Warcry one, yeah, I think they all scrapped
Oh yeah,
off Battle Companies.
it was Tim who didn't come in.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Tim, yeah.
Carl Daly, first time I've been able to catch this live. I'm from Leicester and have been getting back into SBG over the past couple of months. Excellent.
Nice to have you in, Carl from Leicester. Not to rub salt in the wound, but are you a Leicester City fan? Because I'm a United fan. That definitely was not a penalty. I'll hold my hands up. That wasn't a pen, but I'll take it.
We're not here to talk
we
about
need it.
stuff like that. Andrew Cox says, I've been tidying up half-done projects, much like myself. Nearly completed 6 cataphracts that I began 2 years ago. That's exactly how I've been. I had like stuff that has just been sat there for ages that I've like painted the faces of and stuff, and then the rest of it. But then now, because my painting has like progressed since then, I kind of felt like I'll just start them again. But I was like, no, if I do that, I'm never going to get to the bottom of it. So David Byrne, the first SBG tournament I ever went to in 2012, I base coated 6 Royal Guard to use as dismounts and plan to highlight them as the next models I'd paint when I got home. I've never finished them. Once you finish the 13, Damon, I'm going to set that as a challenge for you to get them done and finished.
They are, I mean, they are. I keep saying it, Gamling and the Rohan Royal Guard are gorgeous models.
Yeah.
I mean, they look so cool when they're painted well.
Gamling was, I wouldn't say it was one of the first models I painted, but it was one that I've still kind of got that I haven't got around to sort of stripping or anything, and I almost kind of want to keep it for
to look back on.
To look back on, I think.
Fond
and do you know what,
memories.
actually, it wasn't. The block colouring wasn't that bad, but like the highlighting and the eyes probably were.
It's funny you say that, because Gamling was one of the first models I painted and thought to myself, do you know what, that looks really good. And I actually posted it in the One Ring forums, and it's still that I've not updated it, and like you were looking, I think, do you know what, it still looks cool.
Yeah.
But I think the old metal models had that much character in the faces and stuff.
they did.
You got away with murder. Like
Yeah.
once you put your base colour on and washed it, it looked cool.
Yeah.
So
Scott W says, I did the same with Maho dismounts, Damien. Yeah, I think that's like a common thing for anything that's a dismount.
Dismounts is a nightmare.
Andrew says, haha, teething baby, take sleep when and where you can. But yes, I'll be here a bit.
Cool.
Good stuff. Carl Daly, not at all LCFC fan. Won't mind me at all as I'm a fan of the 6-time European champions. That means nothing to me.
You don't want to know, mate.
No, not getting involved.
It's kind of like Jay. Jay's the same, and he's from Manchester. That's even worse.
I still don't know what that means. Yeah. So, Reese says, "Ha, love the match, Steve, especially Norwich beat."
Yeah,
we're not here to talk about football. Stop it!
Did not see that coming.
Don't encourage him.
That's a good result.
We're nerds.
Facebook's been very quiet today from the Blues.
We're not talking about anything to do with sports or anything like that. Jocks do. This is
jocks.
This is for nerding, not for talking about football. Scott W, are those cataracts the ones I sold you, Andrew?
Nolsey says, evening all, how you doing, Nolsey?
Joe Holzman, I get fed up with my desk being constantly full and finishing of all my half-finished stuff this time last year. That's exactly what I'm doing now, because I had just so much stuff that was just cluttering everywhere. I just needed to get it done and finished.
I decluttered my desk, but not by painting stuff, just by hiding it under things.
Well, I said that I wasn't going to start assembling or building anything else until I'd got the stuff that I'd half done and out the way. So I'm kind of getting to the end of it now, so I'm starting to get stuff out of boxes again, but it's all starting to pile up again. Andrew says, exactly, tidy up before starting new stuff. It's a good thing to try to do, at least. Yes,
I struggle with it.
Try is the key word.
I've always got so much on the go, and we was doing multi-systems now as well. It's a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Kelly says, hi, I caught the last one. I'm from UK Rosendale.
Oh, only around the corner.
He's up the road from me.
Yeah.
Literally up the road from me. I only play against the 9-year-old for now, and I have small bits of Rohan, Gondor, Mordor, Isengard, Rivendell, and Lothlorien armies. In amongst there should be enough for you to play a full-on army.
Daniel, if you ever fancy a game, we're only in Stockport. We're up the road.
Well, I'm in Bury.
Half an hour, 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
You know, come and fly over.
I'm 5 minutes. If we can get into GW in Bury or something, I'll be happy to meet up for a game if you want.
We've got a couple of events coming up which we'll touch on towards the end of the stream here, which are cool for beginners, definitely.
He then goes on to say, loving you.
Loving you too, brother.
Loving you too, mate. But then he corrected himself and said, loving your content.
No, he
far.
he realised how it sounded. I thought, I bet I'm going to style that out.
Good work, mate. Mike Blake, I sold all my SBG models a few years ago. I've now spent the last 3 years trying to get it all back. So many figures to paint. However, been a very successful week on eBay, though. Good stuff.
eBay's a good place to be again. There's a lot of bargains.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because for a long time, the prices were absolutely ridiculous. But I think because there is stuff kind of coming back and potentially people are... coming back into the game, they're thinking, oh, actually, I've got all this stuff that I'm probably never going to use. I like this army, but I don't like all this old stuff that I've got. They're probably sort of shipping it off, which is good. Andrew says, Scott W, I think so. I think that was about the cataphracts, Green Tree. I was up in the loft yesterday and found a Ruins of Asciliad set I forgot I had. I started painting it, but got a bit bored of it. It's a bit of an underwhelming kit.
I quite like the kit.
I quite like it. I kind of hate it now though, because
you
for Ardicon, it was like my hands were like sore from like clipping them all out of screws and gluing them all together, because they're not the easiest to glue. I use like little clamps and stuff to hold all the bits together, but I thought it was an alright kit, and I think if you've got enough of them, you can do some cool stuff with it, can't you?
I ended up I went, I think it was when I was doing the second Scouring of Cheshire. I went on eBay and I was just snapping up every sprue that I could get, even bits of sprues, not full sprues, and I mean they're here, all the bits where I've made up just like random buildings from.
Looks cool,
and they're great for that. And it shows its age now.
Yeah,
I think. But I quite like it. It's
not a bad kit.
I think you spoilt yourself, Green Tree, with all your custom terrain.
Yeah. And I think we're going to be super spoiled when we get the Rohan houses as well.
Oh, yes.
Where are we up to? Reese Taylor, what are you guys painting at the moment? Currently working on Durin as a commission for a friend.
Nice.
I'm, as I say, I've been painting Faramir and Boromir. I've got some Rivendell Knights that are undercoated, ready to be painted to add to my Rivendell army.
I've had 12 Rivendell Knights. ready to go since they came out. I just can't be bothered taking them.
But that's what I'm working on.
Yep. Josh says, Josh Devoy, good to have you, Josh.
Yeah.
Made it back
and
in time.
Winner
Yes.
of last weekend. Well done, mate.
Well
done.
Round of applause. It was good to see him. I've not seen you for a long time.
Yeah, he was saying he's not making it to many events. Is he?
Different reasons.
Yeah, I think he said he's going back to university or something.
Yeah, I was moving to China.
Remember. Oh, yes.
He's moving to China. See, I remember.
And he did say that he wanted to kind of get like a last kind of podium this year, which was great.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, I ran the War of the Roses last weekend along with Ben Lawton. Which was I think there was about 24 people there. I think in the end it wasn't a massive event by any stretch of the imagination, but it's kind of a more kind of fluffy event and things, which was really good. And Josh won it, so that was good. You came down for a little bit, didn't you?
I came down and hung out. Yeah, being local, it's nice to come down. And Josh, I'm assuming you said you made it back. Have you been at the Preston event because you're fairly local, right? If you have, let us know the winners, the runners up, who won what. If you can remember, that'd be great. That'd be awesome. And it's good to have you in, man. Glenn Seymour, finally feeling better. Played some 40k this week and looking at SBG tomorrow. Good man. I'm glad you're feeling better, brother.
Or Warcry. No, look at SBG, mate. Drop the Warcry.
There's been loads of Warcry going on when we come in, actually.
Yeah, there was.
Daniel Kelly, haha, you caught me out. Thanks for the offer. I'll keep that in mind for the future. Yeah, definitely, absolutely, man. If you do ever fancy it, not only that, we're always looking, and I say it all the time, and people go, yeah, and I think they bottle it. We would like different people to come down. Bring your armies that you're most proud of, that you've spent a lot of time on painting, and we'll get them on camera, and we'll get them on a battle report, and you can use them and just have a fun game and get some steak over the road or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be cool. Do you want to take the next one?
Scott W. The Skilleth ruins are great if you mix and match, make your own unique ruins, which I think we've already said. You think they're definitely up for kind of customizing and things, aren't they? Which is great.
Yeah.
Green Tree says, glad you're feeling better, Glyn. Nosy Cody, just got myself a hot wire cutter. Bring on the terrain session. You've got one as well, haven't you?
I've got about 3.
Yeah. I got one last Christmas, and
we've both got the Proxon.
Yeah. I used it to build the what you call it, the Minas Tirith walls for atop the wall scenario that I did, and I've not used it an awful lot since. But this weekend, actually, I bought some templates to start making some ruins and stuff for like the archers and things. So I want them all to like look the same. So once they arrive, I'm gonna have a bit more of a play with it. I think. And
I used mine the other day.
Did you?
When I did the bridge.
Oh, little bridge, yeah. That's looking good.
Yeah, I cut loads of different shaped flags. The only thing is, the scale's a bit big.
Yeah.
On the bridge. That was the only thing. But
I
just wanted to get it done.
Yeah. It looks good. It looks good. Gavin Gillies? Where was that?
Gavin Gillies just painted up. Radagast on slate. Gorgeous model.
And 3 eagles. And 3 eagles. 2 more to go, and the army is done.
How did you find painting it? Because I've got that model, and I've just not had the kahunas to start painting it because it just looks like
a lot of bits on it.
It just looks like it's going to be. Well, I've built it. It just looks like it's going to be fiddly to paint. Is it as fiddly, or am I worrying over nothing? Is it basically just grey dry brush and picking out detail? Yeah.
Is Gavin new to the chat? I don't recognise the name.
No, I think you might be new, Gavin. If you are new, let us know where you're at, my friend, and where you heard about us.
Yeah. Shadow Flame, I'll here for an hour or so. It's Dave. Hi, Dave.
Good to have you, Dave.
Dave was going to jump in, and then I think it's NFL season.
Yeah.
So I think he was going to kind of bottle it and go and watch an NFL.
That football where they don't use the feet, that one.
Yeah, that's the one. Great to have you in, mate. Carl Daly, I finished painting Faramir and Boromir also early hours Friday morning. What's on the late night baby watch? Good stuff.
Following you. You're
absolutely, yeah. I'll once they're done, I'll post up a pic in the group. Scott W, currently working on my 2020 hardcore army. Is it too soon?
Never too soon.
Never too soon. But for the armies that Scott builds and paints and stuff, I think it takes a year for him to do that, if I'm completely honest. So, looking forward to seeing that. Where are we up to? That's just jumped. Scott, Andrew Cox asks, what are you bringing? Josh DeVoy says, thanks guys. Yeah, Steve's got it. I've been busy with university and I'm moving to China. I wasn't at Preston sadly, but Kalman was and placed second. I'll ask him.
Nice.
Excellent. Well done, Kalman.
Well done, Kalman. Richard Woods, Gathering the Grey Havens was won by Will.
Yeah.
Run Up Calman and third Matt Light. So
excellent.
Well done to Will. Will's been messaging me actually today because we're trying to. I mean, we've said it for a while. We want to get to as many events as we can. As we can stretch to.
Yeah.
And I'd really like to get over to Will's because it's semi-local-ish.
It is.
Rippon's not a million miles away.
And he's doing something really unusual with his event, isn't he, as well? So it's battle companies on the first day, and then you include your battle company in your army for the second day, that's a bit different.
And the custom heroes involved in the army, aren't they? Which is quite, it's not been done before, so it'd be interesting to see. Well, even if we can't get over and play, I would like maybe just to get over and hang out, do some interviews and stuff like that. But 100%, I've said it before. Top table on the road is definitely going to be a thing. As soon as we nail what we need to nail, we've had a bit of a hiccup this week. With technology, so we need to get that sorted first, and then we'll be back on track.
Next up was Christoph Xay. Is that how you pronounce that? Sorry if I've completely butchered your name. We're not very good with names here. Hi, I just found this channel. I'm new to the hobby, starting a battle company hopefully soon. Interested in Angmar, Moria and Arnor. Any tips?
Ooh, Angmar and Moria are two very, very strong factions. Arnor... Is Arnor a faction now? Is it?
Yeah.
It's still a faction.
Yeah.
I think it's quite limited though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very limited. I think at low points Arnor is going to be great because it kind of
5-4, right?
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think
it kind of all revolves around the bubbles that Arvedri and Malbeth kind of create. So it kind of, if you have bigger armies, obviously you can't extend those bubbles any further. So I think it is all down to kind of that layering. So I think anything up to about 500 points, it's fairly good. Anything beyond that is would
you say that Arnor is, most builds are going to be very similar?
I would say so, because just because of the limited choice of troops, I guess.
And then with Angmar and Moria, you've got so many different builds that you can do depending on, because there's so many cool heroes with cool rules. And then for me, I just pick and choose them and then spam like orcs or goblins around that.
See, with all the armies that I kind of play, I just prefer stuff that's got like a bit of brute strength. I don't like kind of, people take shades and things like that, which are great, don't get me wrong. I'm not tactically minded enough to like position them properly and things. I'm just going to take bird trolls.
Bird is awesome though.
Exactly. But for battle companies wise, just have fun with it. If there's something that you're not enjoying around battle companies, then I think you're just playing it wrong, really. I've never played a game of battle companies that I haven't enjoyed.
I'm yet to play a game of battle companies.
I know, we keep threatening.
I've got my battle company over
I know, it's all painted. Mine's ready to go. I've got a full army of it now. But yeah, it's welcome to the channel, and
it's good to have you, man.
Hope you're enjoying it. Scott W says, Andrew, Harad and Pirates.
Nice.
Every model will be converted at least slightly. Excellent. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
I love Corsair armies.
They're cool, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really cool.
Andrew says, who else is really excited for Ring Bearers sets after Christmas? Is that when they're going to be officially released then? Is it after Christmas?
Well, there was a post put up on the Warhammer community site that said that they were going to do a made to order after Christmas,
right?
But they then changed it, and there was like a not outcry, but there was sort of people saying, "Oh, they've changed the wording of it now." So I don't think it says that there's going to be a made to order after Christmas. I think they are going to keep them as event exclusives.
Right. Okay.
That's what I've read anyway. I think
I've just skipped a load. I do apologise. Don't worry. We're not going to skip this time, so we'll go back up.
Glyn Seymour says Warcry is less effort to set up a table though. Yeah, it is.
Warcry it's a great game. We're here to talk about Middle Earth, but Warcry is a great game, and it is the kind of game that you can just get out in 10 minutes. You could knock out 3 or 4 games in an hour and a half, and then get it back in the box. Yeah, away you go. Really fun. Retailer says, how much do you think the ring characters will be now they're in boxes of 3?
I've got no idea.
How much were they at Nova? Can we remember?
We did talk about this. They were something ridiculous. I think they were like $40.
Right.
But to me, that sounds like a mistake, because in all 40, I don't know what's converted.
So what's that, about 30 quid?
It's about 30 quid. It'll be a tenner each.
And what? You get 3 mounted and 3 foot.
Yeah, I think that's very cheap. I think somebody at Games Workshop has made a bit of a boo boo on the pricing, because it's not the first time that something like that has happened at an event when they were selling off the Harad, the
Mummock War Leader.
Yeah, Mummock War Leader. That's it. on his own when he shouldn't have been
But
sold on his own.
They didn't make a mistake on the price. They sold it separately as an upgrade kit.
Yes, but they weren't meant to, were they? They were meant
No,
to
but that's how they put them through the till, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's where the mistake was made.
So yeah, it's not the first time I think issues have happened. So I think there will probably be, I'd say maybe 50 quid.
Do you reckon?
I reckon.
I don't think
Because
so.
I think they were between 80 and 25 each, depending on the fine cast. So I think there will be a drop in price, but I don't think it will be that drastic. I think it'll be about 50.
Do you think?
I think.
I don't think there'll be that much. I think there'll be about 40 quid.
I'd like to be proven wrong. Don't get me wrong, but I'm a realist.
Yeah,
I'm a realist.
I think there'll be about 40 quid. Then Andrew, it's at Scat, woohoo, awesome. That was my army I took the first year I went to Ardacon, so much fun to play as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then Green Tree says, I've been trying to find a battle map that resembles Rohan. I want to have one ready for when the new terrain comes out. Any ideas? The Deep Cut Plains map looks okay. I'm not that clued up these days on maps.
No, we had some for Ardacon, but they were Game at EU, I think they were.
Game at EU, yeah.
I think there was a couple of them that, not kind of like green, but they were kind of almost... They were not aridy, but kind of like that kind of scrublandy type thing, which I thought suited Rohan quite well.
Yeah.
So maybe have a look at Game at EU.
And if you do, the patrons get 10% off Game at EU.
They do.
Just saying.
Andrew
says, who else is really excited?
I've already that one.
Jez Hunt says, evening folks, evening Jez, good to have you. We've just been looking at your house.
Yeah, I
not your house. We're not been stalking you. Your Rohan house.
I just went, Steve, look at that. That's good, isn't it? Just before we came on, so yeah, that's looking amazing, mate. Gavin Giles says you popped up on recommended. Oh, that's good.
Nice.
Somebody's recommended us for something. I played Lord of the Rings when it first came out all those years ago. I'm from Nottingham in the UK. I play at Warhammer World every week. As for the Radagast, painted it in bits is the easiest way. So Gavin, do you play with like the other guys that are kind of based around there? Because obviously
Team Knots.
There's a big following round.
When you said that you played it years ago, are you still playing Middle Earth now, or have you moved on to like you play at Warhammer World? So it's going to be GW games like 40k or Age of Sigmar. Are you still playing Middle Earth? Let us know, dude.
Yep.
Where
David
are we
Millington?
David Millington, working on terrain as we locally started playing battle companies to get us back into Middle Earth. Awesome. I've really got my terrain bug back.
Yeah, you have. I've got a bit of a terrain bug at the moment.
I'm so excited.
But it's, again, I want to finish stuff off before I start new projects. Otherwise, I'm just going to have loads of stuff kind of building up again. So yeah, as soon as I've got a bit of a space, I'm going to start building some terrain as well.
Once I get the clutter cleared,
yeah,
I've got a few videos that I'm gonna film, board build videos. As soon as
got some awesome ideas.
But as soon as I can, because it's a bit tight to be honest for two of us. But as soon as I get the clutter cleared, we'll both get in there.
Yeah.
And,
I asked you for lessons the other week and you didn't even answer me. So
oh, did you? I've been terrible. Jay said to me today. He said, "Oh, did you see that I posted in the WhatsApp group?" I was like, "Nah." He said, "You posted a picture of your breakfast straight after it." I said, "Well, that's why." Then I was sidetracked. I was eating.
Flying Mammals waving at us. Hi Ruth.
Hi Ruth.
Great to have
you painted your Ents yet?
Yeah, have you painted your Ents?
Ent watch.
Yeah, post some photos up in the group. Josh Devoy says, Warriors of Arnor are like Warriors of Minas Tirith, except no shield wall. Come with spears and shields, and are fight for and courage too.
Yeah.
Because they're really poor courage, aren't they? But again, the bubbles kind of help with that.
Yeah.
Rich Wood says to Christoph, Moria tip: just take a dragon and cave drakes. That's what Richard brought to. Or Balrog. But that's what Richard brought to the event I ran last weekend. And he did pretty well, I think. I can't remember exactly your position, but you did all right with them, considering it's kind of really low numbers and stuff. Gavin Jars, do you mean the ring bearers that are in clear? I think that's what we were talking about earlier. And Andrew says, no, because I don't think they're coming up. That's what I think anyway. Don't quote me on it, but I think that's what's happened. Jez Hunt says, fighting a cart, MDF kit by war bases, no instructions.
Worst thing ever.
Yeah. Are they tough to put together? Is it not kind of quite intuitive, or are you really struggling with them?
Some kits have got so many. The MDF kits now that are coming out, that companies are bringing out, are so detailed and have so many little tiny pieces because they layer everything to get the detail on. And if you've not got instructions, man, I don't envy you there, brother, at all. Glenn says, hi Ruth.
Few people saying hello to each other. They're on sale at Warhammer World at the moment. I picked them up on Friday night when I was there. I think we're looking to go down at some stage, aren't we?
Well,
And
we've got 2 ring bearer sets. One of them we're giving away. If we'd have thought about it in advance, we could have given it away tonight, but we'll give it away on the next live stream. So
sounds good.
The invisible ring bearer sets, you will have the chance of winning one on the SBG live stream. The next one, we'll make sure we come up with something cool, bit of live participation, and the winner will get sent some of the invisible ring bearers.
Chat keeps jumping. So Andrew says he lives in Bulgaria, so not the easiest to get to any events.
No excuse.
No excuse. Come over for some events. Carl, I'm sure we'll be able to help you out with them at some stage. Carl Daly, Gavin Jars, hi pal, what day of the week do you play at Warhammer World? I've been wanting to play some games, but I struggle to find anyone in Leicester, so I think I will have to go further afield. Carl, come up and see us for a day.
Yeah.
Do it.
I drove to Leicester the other week, remember?
Yeah.
I did a full day's graft and drove back in the same day.
Could have kept the cars.
Good off Carl, man. Where were you? Where was the shout out?
Yeah, exactly. Where was Gondor when the West fell, pal? Andrew says, if you're at Warhammer World and fancy picking me up a set, I'm sure we can sort that out. Gavin plays on Wednesdays and Friday nights. He plays with Ed Bull sometimes.
Nice.
So, yeah, good stuff. Jess Hunt says, haha, the 28mm house is nicer than my real house. Cheers, fellas. Carl Daly, great stuff. I'll have to pop down one night. Tom Glover, by the way, Ben, I used my new patron dice at Battle Companies on Wednesday, and Gaz will agree they work rather well. Good stuff. I'm glad to hear that. I sent Tom Glover some dice ages ago, and then he sent me asked for his address, and I didn't even think about it. And he sent me a message like, "Well, you meant to be sending me something." I was like, "I sent you some dice," and they just never arrived. So I had to send him another set. So. Clearly the magic worked. I made sure that they were...
You rubbed them. I won't tell you where, but you rubbed them.
I was going to say something awful then. I was like, no, I won't. Gavin says, I stopped playing it and then friends wanted to play, so I got my stuff out of the loft and we began to have some games. Only started recently. Lots of changes with new heroics, etc. There's a huge... I was talking to a friend that I play with. He's not particularly kind of... He doesn't play loads.
Yeah.
But he was amazed at how the game had changed, because we used to play from Fellowship of the Ring days, and we kind of got to the Blue Book times, and then the game has just changed so much from then. Like, you know, I think people forget how much it has changed and how much has moved on, which is fantastic.
Gavin.
Gavin
says, sorry,
Tom Glover, except for my 2 attacks, burly warrior hero with a 2-handed weapon who failed to roll higher than a 3 to wound all night. Well, if he's 2-handed,
happens to me all the time.
If he's 2-handed and burly, does he need to roll above a 3? Depends what you're against.
To win the fight, yeah.
Oh yeah, to win a fight, yeah, he does, yeah. Reese Taylor, have you painted your Easterlings up yet, Steve?
That was one of the first Middle-earth live streams on the channel.
Yeah, it was.
I thought, right, I'll paint these Easterlings.
And you got like half of one done or something.
Yeah, I didn't do anything. And they're still in the same state. I think I put them back in the box, if I'm honest. In the they're in the Easterling box and it's been filed away. Out of sight, out of mind.
Cluttered. Gavin says, yeah, Carl, if you want a game, just let me know on Facebook with this name. You're welcome to come down /up. Excellent.
Bring people together, man. That's what we're about.
It is. David Millington, potentially will look at events at Leodis Games in the new year if the play group keeps going.
I think it will. It's a fairly new group, that, and it seems to
they're
be...
all guys that are dead passionate about it. Because I know, like, Tim Garlick is... He's keen, Gaz, but he's not played for... Yeah, Gaz, Tom. I think there's somebody else as well that I think plays as well. Let us know who's playing there. But yeah, it sounds like there's a good little group that goes to Leodis.
Yeah.
And Andrew says, big news, by the way. Rosie said her first word, dada, and now she won't stop saying it. Pretty awesome. That's lovely news.
Once they start, that's it. Like, I can't get a word in my house now, mate.
As Angela kind of, is she a bit bitter that it's not mama, or is she kind of okay with it because it is a first word? Let us know. Yeah. So we're actually caught up with the chat, which is fantastic, which is rare.
Yeah.
So we put a post out on Facebook groups. On Facebook, asking people to chuck us some questions, because this was like a bit of an ask me anything type thing. You know, what do people want us to talk about? So we didn't come with any kind of clear agenda with what we wanted to cover tonight. So it's going to be a bit of a mishmash of various questions.
I quite like the idea of this. So I think unless something big happens, like there's a big release or a big event on or something like that we want to talk about, I think this kind of is a good way to move it forward.
Yeah, and guys, you know, if there's anybody that is watching this, not necessarily live, but you want anything answered, just chuck it in the comments.
Yeah.
You know, or contact us on Facebook
point,
as well, because I think, you know, when people tend to watch this back, they think, oh, I've kind of missed out on the live part of it. But actually, we want you guys to feel included as well. There's some of you that are working. There's people that are in different time zones. There's people that, you know, aren't necessarily going to be able to tune in because it's Sunday night. They've got stuff on.
Like us, two sad sacks.
Yeah, exactly. You've got nothing better to do. So you know, it's your opportunity to just chuck any questions at us, and it's just good to have a bit of a ramble about what it was, really, isn't it? So should we jump into the questions?
Let's jump in. Let's do it.
So John Kennelly, what is everyone's favourite scenario or set battle to play?
What, narrative?
I'm guessing narrative. So for me, it's
that's everyone's favourite
scenario or set battle to play.
I think that's competitive.
Okay, what's your competitive one then?
I like domination.
That's the 5. Yeah. I like simple straight up scraps, like to the death or something like that.
Yeah.
Just anything where you kind of, you know, you're just kind of getting in and things. I think sometimes, especially when you're playing competitively, some of the scenarios are a little bit anything with Maelstrom I'm not massively keen on, because actually you can lose just from your deployment. Things like storm the camp, it's just a bit like sometimes it just feels like you're completely in your own corners. You don't kind of meet too much. But obviously every game's slightly different. But that's just my thing. I like something where you get a bit of a scrap going on.
But the reason I like domination is I think sometimes not just in Middle Earth, in a lot of war games, you can set up and you kind of think, oh, that's a strong list, I'm going to struggle with that, I'm going to struggle against that. In domination, there's 5 objectives scattered evenly across the board, so you might in your head have the weaker army, but if you can get their strong thing over one of the objectives and lose that fight, but you win 3 of the other fights,
exactly, you can
winning. I kind of like the way that makes you think.
Yeah, true.
How to split your own force and keep your eye on how they're splitting their force.
Them. Yeah. I remember playing. I think the reason I'm not keen on domination, I played against Sam Huddy, and he had the Fellowship, and I had Isengard, and I was like, this should be a cakewalk for me. And I had like Berserkers, and I think I had like 4 of them or something like that. And then he had Legolas left, and he shot one of them off one of the objectives, and then one of my Berserkers ran as well, so it meant that he actually ended up winning the scenario because I rolled double 1s with my Berserkers. I was just like, I cannot believe. But I think that's why I don't like domination. After that game,
I like it. That's my favourite normal one anyway.
Cool. Simon Powell asks, would be great to get some advice on getting into the game, or how to start with a small version and move up to the full game. So for me, I think, you know, start with an army that you like. You know, I think the Pelennor Fields box is great, massively great value. But if you don't like any of those armies, it's kind of almost false economy a little bit. But I think, you know, the stuff that you get in the box is great for starting, because it gives you all like the scenarios and stuff like that. And it gives you like a almost like a feeder kind of scenarios into the game. And then go for something that you like. And he also adds also advice on starting and playing the Army of the Dead. So I think clearly he does quite like the Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead is a very popular faction at the moment, which is awesome, because prior to the rules update, you never ever seen it.
No,
because it was a bit naff. It's strong now, which is good. But for someone who's never played the game before, I would personally say start with an army something like Gondor or Mordor.
Yeah.
And the reason being is you can just be very, very basic. So you can have like a cool hero in there, a couple of captains, and then just like spam warriors or orcs, and learn the basics with those. I think you can get them quite cheap.
Army of the Dead is a little bit kind of one-dimensional. And I think
not many heroes, not much you can do with it.
I think
it's good at what it does.
Yeah, I think if you are super keen on going for that, you need to add Aragorn in. Really,
get the 3 hunters.
Get the 3 hunters. Yeah. Get the new King of the Dead when it comes out. So hopefully that'll be this side of Christmas.
Yes. I reckon it'll be released at Throne of Skulls.
So anything, quite possibly. So I think anything kind of 500 points wise, you kind of take the King and the Heralds. Yeah. Or a herald, and then I think anything above that, I think you start taking the 3 hunters alongside them. Then
most builds you'll see now is King of the Dead and Aragorn.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a video on top 5 beginners armies as well a little while ago. So if you go back through like the playlists, have a quick watch of that video. That might give you a bit of inspiration of things to look at, especially if you are buying the starter box as well.
And you're here at the Weekender, I believe, Simon. So if you fancy a run out, just give one of us a nudge and we'll give you a run through, pal. We've got all different armies here, and we can.
Yeah, definitely.
We can give you a game, no problem.
Definitely.
It's an awesome game. You won't look back.
Yeah. Owen Fitzpatrick. What do you hope to see in the not so distant future regarding Isengard armies and their bonuses? What would you like to see?
Well, the bonuses, not too sure.
Mm-hmm.
I quite like that. I'm pleasantly surprised with most new profile special rules and things that are coming out. I think they're really experimental and cool.
Very unique.
Very unique.
Every hero seems to have a unique special rule.
Yeah. So I'm not worried about that. What would I like to see is plastic Dunlandings.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
I'd love to see plastic Dunlandings.
Or
even
cool.
resin.
Yeah, just something new. Because is it what was it called? The old blue book, Legions of Middle Earth.
Yes.
There was quite a few mentioned profiles in that, so that I think there was like Huskarls, there was Berserkers, I think, as well.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some of those, whether they kind of fit the kind of the aesthetic and the way that GW kind of move in the game now. I don't know whether they will expand on Dunland in this round. I don't know, because I think I don't know whether they'll be able to. Well, we discussed it in the last live stream, whether they'll be able to sort of shoehorn Helm Hammerhand in to this as like an extra, or whether there's going to be plenty of stuff going on from existing stuff that they can kind of.
I just think, for me, when this supplement lands, I think Rohan we won't see that much new stuff.
No,
because we've already seen so much new stuff.
Yeah,
I think we'll get the odd like Helm Hammerhand, maybe like Sons of Aeol on foot models and stuff like that. You know, like they did with the Knights of Dol Amroth.
Yes,
I think that kind of feel. We'll get some like Forge World, something like that, which would be awesome, by the way. But I think as far as new models, I'd really like Isengard to be expanded on, just because it hasn't really been expanded on.
I'd like a named captain type profile, but with heavy armor, because all the named captains at the moment are kind of like the scouts, scout types. So I'd like to see a heavily armored, the one that kind of stands on the rock and kind of like bellows. I'd like to see something like that. I would like to see not necessarily kind of more troop types, but potentially kind of a little bit more kind of diversity in some of the troop types. Like, so with the scouts, I'd like to see some with like the two-handed axes. That would be quite cool. In terms of army bonuses, I there's loads of stuff that I'd like to see, and I think we could probably do an entire episode just on what I'd like to see. But things that I think we'll definitely see is Legendary Legions for like Lurtz's kind of scouts, I guess. I think they'll all get.
I think we will see that.
We'll definitely see that. I think we'll get like the Marauders 8-inch movement rule for everybody that's in that Legendary Legion.
Yes,
that's what I'd like to. That's what I'd like to see. I think, but obviously it's going to be very limited. I think we will see a kind of Mordor Orcs and the rest of the scouts with Ugluk. I think we'll see a Legendary Legion for that. But I think there'll be some sort of rules around. You can't have orc captains leading Urukai. They can't take courage. They can't take standfast tests for each other and things like that. I think there'll be quite a bit of stuff like that with them. I think there's just going to be so much stuff that could be included. I
think it's wide open for them to do a lot with it.
Yeah,
and like I just said a minute ago, like Isengard has been pretty much untouched for a long, long time. Like Rohan's
had a lot of stuff.
They've run away with it, even before the supplements come out. So I think we'll see the odd little surprise for Rohan, but nothing. He's gonna oh my god, because there's already just so many heroes. I think we might see another couple of troop models for existing profiles, but I think Isengard they'll really go to town on, which I'm excited for.
One thing that I thought of earlier, which like as a special rule for that, because I was reading through these questions, I was sort of taking screenshots of all the questions and stuff. I would love, the Merry and Pippin models where they're carrying them. I would love those to act as banners.
Yes.
For for those guys, like obviously the guys would be classed as unarmed, I guess, because they're carrying Merry and Pippin. But obviously the Uruk-hai thought that Merry and Pippin were really kind of high value, so they potentially try and fight harder to keep hold of those. I think that would be like a really cool rule for like either Lurtz or for Ugluk's Legendary Legion.
Yeah.
I think that'd be quite cool.
Like a banner effect.
Yeah.
They'll fight harder to keep
hold of them.
Yeah.
I think that'd be quite cool.
Possibly.
Daniel Knott asked if one has only the Gundabad upgrade kit from Forge World, what should one buy if he was only up to £50 to £60? No restrictions army wise. What would you get if you had
you can get the Gundabad warband.
Yeah, but he says no restrictions army wise, so not necessarily just going for Gundabad. But if you had 50, 60 quid to spend it
on any army now,
right now
in Forge World,
yeah, Forge World, what would you buy?
Oh no, he's only got the Gundabad kit from Forge World.
Yeah,
so like it doesn't have to be a Forge World what he spends his money on.
Yeah, I think that's what he wants. I think it's if he was going to be spending that money in Forge World, what would you buy?
Dane and 12 Iron Hills dwarves.
Is that what you'd buy?
Yeah, because that's the most value for money.
Maybe, because I was thinking about this one. I would probably buy something like Gwahir and go for like something really nice, something that's cool to paint, that's like a really nice sort of big hefty chunky model. And I know that's kind of like blowing your whole load on one kind of model, but it would look cool. Plus then, in the future, because I think Daniel said a couple of times that he got limited hobby spend, like I think a lot of people have, but adding eagles to it, they're 100 points each off the top of my head. So actually, you can form an army pretty quick from that, and they're quite cheap. Because I think a set of eagles is 30 quid from GW or 25 quid if you buy them from Element Games, perhaps using the affiliate link below. So that's what I'd go for. But go for something. If you just want to buy something that is cool to paint, the Rohan heroes, some of those are amazing. The Deowine, I think is cracking. Yeah. But as you said, like the Thranduil on Elk. That's a cool model as well.
That's for me. That's the best model in the range.
Yeah,
but then that's one model and that's 50 quid.
Yeah,
you can get 12 Iron Hills Warriors for 40 quid.
Yeah,
and Dane is 20, 30, 25?
40, I think he is.
Oh, is he 40 quid?
Yeah, he's hefty.
You have to save some more pocket money for that. But
yeah, I'd go for Gwahir. That's what
I just think Iron Hills Warriors are so much value.
But it's another army then, though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But I suppose.
Yeah.
Dan G. Ross. We met Dan G. Ross.
We did.
Dan Gross. Last weekend for the first time.
Lovely fella.
He's a lovely fella. He didn't look like I imagined him. I know it's like really weird.
The weird thing is he looks exactly like he does in his profile picture.
But I didn't look at his profile picture. I don't go around stalking people like you do.
I stalk everyone. I was outside Jezun's house before.
I don't know why, but he just didn't look anything like I imagined him. So he says, first of all, following the great success for the Top Table Gaming channel, cheers mate, as well as nurturing an awesome community in such a short period of time, what would be one of the next big milestones you are looking to reach to take the business to the next level?
Good question. For me, it's the live event coverage.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that is going to make us stand out from other
channels,
other YouTubers.
Yeah, definitely.
In this sort of niche area that we're in.
Yeah.
Of like wargaming.
So, I think that's definitely something. I think for me as well, kind of consistency between, and I think being completely honest, consistency from all of us, and like having the time to be able to do stuff as well. We discussed it before we kind of went live that actually, this last week you've been super busy. For the next month I'm going to be really, really busy, and that's kind of why we're setting up studios at home almost. So that, because this is based in Stockport, it's 25 minutes, half an hour from you.
Depends on traffic.
Depends on traffic. Yeah, same
for
me.
For me, it's an hour in rush hour.
Yeah. So it takes us quite a long time to get here. So that's kind of why we want to set up stuff at home. So actually, we can be doing stuff even if we haven't.
If we're struggling to get
and I think that's kind of one of the biggest challenges, really. You had a follow-up question. How can we as a community best support in getting you to that point?
Just keep spreading the word.
Yeah, keep spreading the word. Like, share, if you see any of our videos that hasn't been shared, or one that you kind of really enjoyed or something like that, pop a post up about it. Share it in groups. Get people to kind of join the community that to join the community. Any events that we run as well.
Yeah,
events is another thing that we really kind of want to get into, and we're experimenting with other systems as well. So I know you've run Scouring, which is kind of your event.
Yep.
We do you guys do the Weekender.
Excuse me.
It just got
had a burger before we started.
I thought you like welling up like.
We've got the Weekender in October. We have a 40k event
in November-December
weekend, and then we've got the GBHL League finale at Scarring, which is the 14th and 15th of December, which is blowing me away at the moment. The support that it's getting is amazing, and I'm going to make sure it's a very, very special event. The prizes, I think, are going to blow people away.
Yeah,
like more so. Like Scouring prizes are always been good.
Yeah,
like decent prizes. These ones, I've pushed the envelope a little bit.
Yeah, good stuff.
And I think you guys, for the support that you show the event, deserve it.
Yeah,
that's always been
that's kind of your thing, isn't it? You want to show appreciation to people that are coming, and not even just people that are going to be there to win events. It's the kind of people that aren't necessarily there that are going to be in the kind of podium positions. It's people that are just entering the raffle or cool spot prizes and stuff like that. So yeah, good stuff.
It's exciting. But yeah, I mean, our reach can only go so far, so we can only kind of share our stuff in our group and groups that we're friendly with. Between the four of us, we're not in every other gaming Facebook group.
Yeah,
but you guys are probably in a lot of groups that we're not, so sharing our videos in your circles really, really does help us. So if you guys are able to do that, that is awesome, and it's going to help the channel grow.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a shameless plug, but Patreon as well.
Patreon's massive.
At the moment, Patreon kind of just covers the studio,
the rent,
which is fantastic. It was kind of going back 6 months when I first, or just slightly before that, when I just joined the channel, you guys were putting your hand in the pockets every month to kind of fund the studio. Now we've got to a place where it's kind of paying for itself, and we've had some really kind of generous patrons this last week join up as well. So Andrew Cox is one of them. So thank you really so much for your support. But it kind of means that we can put investment back into the channel, because you recently bought some new lights.
Yep.
We've had, as you said, some tech issues this week with the camera, which has kind of really hit us
right
hard,
in the nuts,
where we felt like we were kind of really kind of moving forward with stuff. It's kind of knocked us back a little bit. So the Patreon doesn't, it's not, we're not coining it in off the Patreon or anything. We are, every penny that we get is kind of,
it goes back
reinvested into the channel.
Yeah, it goes back in.
So yeah, Patreon is a good way if you do want to support us. Is a fantastic way of doing that. And he says, on a completely unrelated note, if a member of the community had a background in audio production and bidders management, would there be any questions you'd ask them? I think that's one for outside of this.
Yes. I don't think people watching would want to hear me waffle on about tech things for 3 hours.
Yeah. There's a table full of stuff there that we don't know how to use.
Full of equipment. Yeah.
We've got no idea how to use it.
But yeah, definitely. I think I said it to you at the Roses event last week. I definitely at some point will be having a chat with you. So yeah, thanks for asking, man.
Yep. Rain Mikola says, what is the most annoying army / figure you have played against? Iron Hill's Ballista, until the nerf. I haven't played against it. But since before that, it was, I saw it across the table and I'd be like, I've lost this. And it was a mental thing more than anything.
Yeah, because the thing is, once you know how to deal with it, it doesn't make it like irrelevant. That'd be a silly thing to say. But once you have a way of dealing with it, you can deal with it fairly easy. It kind of depends on the player that's using it.
Exactly. I've played against, I think we played against Kalman.
Kalman,
and he knows how to use it.
Smashed us to pieces.
He did, and he knows how to use it. And he targeted Aragon, took Aragon off his horse. That's Aragon not able to move very far. That's him not, reducing his killing power. And that kind of not cost us the game, because I think they probably already had it anyway. But it kind of put a real dent in our aim. So every time I see that model, I'm just like, I can't do anything. A lot of the big stuff that you see, sort of like the Balrog or Sauron or anything like that, you kind of work around them, but that just is such a pain for me. Every time I see an Iron Hills army, I just think, fight through this now. It's not something I'm terribly. I look at it and I kind of go, got to deal with that now. But for me, you just mentioned Sauron. Yeah,
Sauron's difficult to play against. I played Devin Marino from the DC Hobbit League at Throne of Skulls.
Yeah, last year, wasn't it?
And he had a Mordor list which was Sauron and spammed with captains and orcs. And
that's how he's meant to be played, isn't it?
Yeah, it was quite. I think it was 750 points. So he had a lot of spam, and it was just a lot to deal with. And I think I was playing him at domination.
Yeah, so he's got the upper hand.
And I had Mirkwood elves with Thranduil and Elk.
So you had low numbers anyway, didn't you?
Yeah, I had all elves. I think it was all elves. So I had low numbers, and I had nothing that could deal with Sauron.
Yeah,
nothing.
Yeah.
So,
but I suppose in that situation, it's just trying to keep away from him and just try and kill the rest of the army and cause damage where you can.
It was high ground.
All right.
Yeah, it was high ground. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, so I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah,
really tough matchup that. So yeah, stuff like that.
And I didn't roll higher than a 3-all game.
That doesn't
game.
Help. That doesn't help.
No.
Glenn Seymour is scaring Shire content dead in the water because Steve got Bill Fernie killed.
He's not killed. He's not killed. He's just been knocked out.
So he will be back.
Yeah, with a black eye.
So
I might paint a black eye on him.
just as like a reminder that he got beaten up by some hobbits.
Yeah. If you've not seen it, check out the battle report. What was it?
Skirmish and Bree.
Skirmish and Bree battle report. It's nice. I enjoyed playing that.
I loved it.
It was fun.
It was great.
Yeah, nice little battle report. It's very short.
So I think it's only like 25 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Really short one, so you can watch it on your lunch break or whatever.
It gives you a good idea of what our battle reports are like.
If you've never seen them before.
If you've not seen them, but yeah, check out the back catalogue. We've got some awesome ones on there.
But you're working on some boards specifically for it.
Yes. So the one for the next scenario in the book, which is
it Farmerwagon? No, it's the one over the bridge.
Over the bridge. What's it called?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
But it's the next one. That board's done. That's ready. We can come in and film that once we sort our camera issue out. And then the one after that is the one. It's a Farmer Maggot's Fields.
Yep.
Where it's a 4x2. So what I'm doing is I'm not making a 4x2. I'm making two 2x2 boards for that.
Sounds exciting.
Which will just go together because all those three, the two off that one and the one off the one with the bridge on, are going to go with another one and make a 4x4 board eventually.
Sounds awesome. So that'd be really cool then, won't it? So yeah, it's not that we stopped doing them. If we want to carry on, actually, I think we probably want to try and play through all the scenarios in it because they are really fun.
I love that book.
Yeah, so do I.
I love that book.
I absolutely love it. So it's not dead in the water. We really want to carry on with it, but we're just waiting for some boards to be built.
Yeah.
Waiting for some hobbits for me to finish off some hobbits as well.
I've got all the hero hobbits now. I've got to paint.
Yeah. So yeah, there is a little bit of work to do just behind the scenes for us to get to that situation. Rain also asks, what is your favourite narrative scenario? What's yours?
If you go pretty far back on the GBHL podcast channel, I took a trip down south and stayed with Mr. O'Byrne for the weekend, and we filmed some battle reports, and we filmed the Am and Hen.
Oh yeah,
battle reports.
I was going to say that's probably one of my favourite.
Am and Hen, but the Am and Hen scenarios are really cool because it's kind of everything. I think especially as if you're like new to the game, and the only thing you've got to go off is like the movies. It's a really thematic, a lot going on, exciting.
You've got the big heroes.
It's got the heroes that you want in there. It's a cool scenario.
Yeah, and for the same reason, I like Balin's Tomb.
Yes.
It's one that if I'm teaching people to, showing the people the game for the first time, or if I'm just having like a bit of a catch-up game with people, Balin's Tomb is great because it's little 2x2 board,
instantly recognisable.
You've got a cave troll, you've got all the fellowship in there. It's all stuff that people recognise, and it's a way of playing through like some of the cool special rules. Yeah, people don't know what everything does, but
again, check out our battle report.
Yeah, you did cool one
in the on the Moria board, which I think is probably one of the most aesthetically pleasing battle reports we've done.
Yeah,
the lighting and everything is spot on. Check that out.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
But yeah, that's our two favourites. So it'd be Balin's Tomb and the Am and Hen.
Yeah. Tim Garlick asks, what would you like to see in the next Made to Order?
I'm in a weird position where
you got everything.
I have everything. Because I was kind of more of a collector in the early days. I used to just collect.
Because you didn't like you don't accept your nerdiness.
Yeah, I didn't want to let people know that I was a nerd.
Yeah.
and I hid it. I hid things up, bought them and hid them away. Now I embrace it. I'm a nerd.
Your missus still doesn't know. It's like she's not allowed anywhere near the garage.
Yeah, we just don't talk about it.
Yeah. It's like an unwritten rule. Like,
I'm going in the garage to use my drills and my hammer.
Yeah, like practice for Fight Club or something. So yeah, you've got pretty much everything. Things that I would like to see. I would like to see the AMS sculpt, the Marshal of the Riddermark.
Right, yeah.
I'd like to see that one come back because they did a Faramir captain.
Oh no, is it Knight of Pelennor?
Knight of Pelennor, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. I'd like to see that one come back.
I don't think you will see that back. I think we might get a new AMO.
I think we'll get a new. I'd like to see that come back as a made to order though, like because
it's a nice model.
It's a nice model.
Yeah.
And I think just from a collector's point of view.
Yeah.
Other things that I would like to see back. What?
Sort of, I'm branching, but like because we spoke about a possible AMR sort of resculpt, and the wetter, the wetter statue of AMR that came out last year of him coming down the hill.
Yes.
Oh, they've got to make that.
Right,
please make that. He's coming down the hill on his horse.
A bit like the Daewine kind of model, kind of pose.
Yeah, but like
at an angle.
Like Dane's on
yeah.
that thing that's like a slight slope. Put him on that and having like charging down
like a character series.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Anyway, go on.
That would be nice.
I'm branching.
You are branching there. I would like to see. I've got it, but I think it's quite a rare one that you don't tend to see. Is the Golem in boat.
Yes.
I think I'd like to see that come back. I'd like to see the yoga pose Thranduil.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
I like it, but I don't know. I like the other. I like all Thranduil poses. There's a lot of them, considering how little there is in the films, really. What else would I like to see? I'd like to see all the Scout Uruk-hai in metal.
Yeah.
Just as one pack, including the Merry and Pippin.
And the way things are sort of going with that, I think that may be a thing.
That's likely. I think
but then we've got the plastic kit as well.
Yeah, but then we've got the plastic Mario Goblins.
Yeah,
we made them.
Yeah,
got
that's
plastic
true.
orcs.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that would be cool just to fill out everyone's collections and stuff like that. I thought of something else than that I'd have really liked to have seen. Oh, the ring wraiths, the mounted ring wraiths. But then they might come back to the kind of Black Rider ones. Because to me, they're far more iconic from the films than the kind of the made up ones are.
Yeah.
Because they
do the you can buy the 9, can't you? Well, you
can buy the 9, but they're all on foot. But I'd like to see the mounted ones.
It'd be cool if they released the 9 mounted.
Yeah,
but there isn't 9 poses.
I think there's 3, but you can swap round the legs on the horses and the arms on the riders, so you can make 9.
And then the Witch
poses.
King's has got his own pose.
Yeah, Witch King's.
So they only need 8.
Yeah, so yeah, I think it could be done. Could be done. But that's the sort of thing that I'd like to see come back. Yeah. Just to kind of help fill those kind of gaps in the collections, really. Reese Taylor, have you painted your Eastlings up yet, Steve? Yeah, I think we discussed that one earlier. Nope. From Stephen Devlin, what are your thoughts on a rules query we discussed in the Irish Hobbit League this week? So, imagine my hero and an enemy hero are in combat against each other.
Yes.
And both call heroic combats.
Yes.
If I win the roll-off but die in the fight, does the enemy hero move on? Or are they stuck rooted to the spot because it was not their side's heroic combat that they won? We agreed it could be a useful tactic to shut down a big enemy hero's heroic combat if you have a cheap expendable hero to spare.
So they both call heroic combat?
Yeah. Then one of them wins.
Yeah.
But then the other one that didn't get the heroic gets to go they wouldn't get to do it because they're not participating in their heroic combat.
Sorry, explain it. Right, start it again.
So, should I get some models to show you?
Get some models. I'm a very visual dude.
You are, aren't you?
Yeah. They don't have to be heroes. Is anyone else in the fight, or is it just 2 heroes?
Just 2 heroes.
Right. So it's just heroic combat. Whoever wins moves on, right?
Yes, but let me grab these 2. These 2 here.
Right.
They're in a combat.
Okay.
So they both call it heroic combat.
Can you see this, guys? Right. So we've got Dane.
So Dane and
the captain.
Right. So both Dane and the captain call heroic
combat.
Heroic combat.
Yeah.
So the captain wins the combat.
He backs off.
Yeah. So but then Dane wins and beats him.
What? How can he? If he wins the combat, only he's
sorry. No. He wins the roll off for the heroic combat. So he gets.
Oh, right.
He gets to go his combat first.
But that combat, but it's still that combat.
But he then can't do a heroic combat, can he? Because he's not in the combat.
But it's the same combat.
Yeah, but it's not his heroic combat that's doing it, it's his. But then
it is.
See, I'd say no, he couldn't.
I'd say he could. Does he say how it got judged?
No, I think it was just a discussion. I'd say no, he can't because he's not.
It's called heroic combat, right?
Yeah, they're both called heroic combats, but it's his heroic combat that is being resolved first.
Well, no, because that's the combat. He's not on his own in combat. It's only a combat if there's two of them involved, and they've both called a heroic.
Yeah.
So that he's not just in a combat on his own. He's in a...
No, I know he's in a combat with him, but he's.
So then, when would his heroic combat be?
But it gets cancelled out, doesn't it?
Why?
Because his combat has been. So then he doesn't get the chance to then call a heroic combat.
No, I'd say he still did.
Oh. Put it in the comments. Let's have a look.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, what do you guys think?
Let me read. Have we read it wrong?
No.
Let me read it. Hero and enemy hero in combat against each other, and both call heroic combats. If I win the roll off, but die in the fight, yeah, all day long for me. All day. There wouldn't be a roll off.
Yeah, there would, because they're both calling a heroic.
Yeah, but you roll to see which combat you do first. That's one combat. That's what you roll off for. Why would you wouldn't roll off? You just do that combat first.
Just be that combat.
You wouldn't roll off. I don't understand why, unless there's other heroic combats elsewhere that were called.
Yeah.
But if there was no one else involved,
yeah,
you wouldn't roll off. It's just that combat. Why would you roll off?
Because but does it make a difference which one calls it?
No. You're just saying in this combat, I'm using a point of might there.
To be able to, if I kill that. Yeah, no, I can see it from your point of view.
So as far as I'm concerned, yes, he would still get to move on. But that's if we've been given all the information that we need to make that call. Okay. Hope that helps, man.
Cool. Stephen Tennyson, would any of you like to see a new edition of War of the Ring?
What, the
mass battle?
The mass battle. I wouldn't be adverse to it, and I've got it there somewhere.
Yeah. No, not that. That's Battle of Five Armies. War of the Ring was the mass battle, kind of on the movement trays and stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I know what War of the Ring is.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against it. And,
I wouldn't be against it.
And to be honest, the way 40k has gone with Apocalypse, I wouldn't rule it out.
Yeah.
That we not see it, because it's a way of selling a lot of models. It might be better for people who play skirmish, because you get the bigger sets.
Yeah. For
cheaper, you'd get more savings, because that's what they've done with Apocalypse. Haven't they? They've got the big £100 boxes where you get like 150 quid's worth of models in it.
Yeah. Do you know what? Just talking about that, the like army boxes and stuff. I know historically they've kind of avoided doing mixed boxes with kind of resin and stuff, but resin, plastic, metal, whatever it is. But
there was a few.
But they've started doing that now. Was there?
Yeah, remember they did the Rohan one.
Yeah, kind of a long time. Yeah, a long time ago.
A Dwarven one, a Mordor one.
Obviously, recently with all like the Start collecting boxes from like Age of Sigmar and stuff, it all seems to be just plastic. But I think with the way that the blisters are now being packed, so there's like the fine cast or the resin, Barlin and the metal Floy and stuff like that. They're being packaged together. So actually, I think we might see boxes. We could quite easily see boxes for stuff like that. I don't think it's something that I would play because I'm an incredibly slow painter, and just having to paint up, I don't know how many you essentially need for it, but if you're having to paint up hundreds of miniatures, especially if the majority of it is going to be your kind of orc spam and things like that, I just can't see myself getting to a position where I am painting that much to get them on a table, in all honesty.
Yeah, I mean, I never played it when it was out. My lad did, because it was like early days. That was when I was just painting, and my son was into gaming, and he actually went to a War of the Ring event at Warhammer World. It was my first visit to Warhammer World. I took him there, and I was sat in Bugman's all day. But it doesn't appeal to me. But I wouldn't say, I'd never say never.
Yeah. Well, I never played War of the Ring, so
I like skirmish games. So
yeah, but do you know what? There's something about as soon as you put things in movement trays, I just go off it. I don't know what it is. I think it's just
I like how that many models on the table looks cool.
That many models on the table look cool. I just don't like movement trays. I think they look very kind of... I like the way that they've done it for Apocalypse. I know we're talking about, they've kind of made them like off-center and stuff, but I just think of old Warhammer Fantasy and stuff like that. And
that too structured.
I don't think it's the structured. I think it looks a bit naff to me. And I don't know what that is. I don't know what kind of drives that for me, but that's just how I kind of see it.
Yeah.
Potentially with round bases and stuff, it might look a little bit different.
Yeah.
Should we go jump back in the chat and see what people are saying?
I don't think there's been much chat going on, has there?
No. Oh, yeah, I think there has been.
All right. Yeah.
Oh,
where's all that come from? That wasn't there a minute ago.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking, we better get some filler here.
Yeah. Oh, blimey, there has been some chat.
Okay,
here,
right. We're going to have to run through these, so we will sort of skim them. We will skim them. There we go.
There we go. We're almost there.
Where are we?
Shadow and Flame. Working on a giant armoured Balrog conversion.
Nice.
That'd be cool.
We want to see pictures. That's what we want to see. Green Tree says, what is Facebook?
Get on Facebook. I want to see all this cool like terrain and stuff.
I might just open up a Facebook profile and just everything he ever writes in the chat.
Just put it in there.
Just put it in. And then you haven't got a choice, you're on it. Gavin says, so top table, do you have a gaming group and a place to play? New to this channel, if you're based in Leicester, I'm sure me and my group would have a venture out. We're not in Leicester, we're in Manchester, or Stockport to be precise, which is in Greater Manchester. And we've got a really cool gaming group here.
There's a lot of players. We don't have like a gaming group as such, but there are a lot of players locally that come down for games quite a lot.
Yeah, so basically... we're based at Element Games in Stockport. That's where the studio is. That's where we hang out a lot. That's where we play most of our games and host most of our events. Leicester's not a million miles away. If you wanted a day trip out on a weekend, on a Saturday or a Sunday, and a car full, you come down and we play a load of games, I'm sure that could be arranged.
Yeah, definitely.
Without a shadow of a doubt. But we do have, so Tuesday nights at Element Games. It's not top table. It's run by Element, but Jay runs it.
Close
and,
enough.
A lot of the top table people, community go there. That is Warcry night on a Tuesday. We have 40k, which is Thursday night, and then Middle Earth kind of just is in and around everything. So there's a lot of players, and you know what I find quite still to this day, I still keep seeing people that I don't know coming in with armies for Middle Earth.
People kind of the local community, and you still see people, you go, you play Middle Earth.
But we were talking about that before, and we will just quickly touch on this because there's so much to get through. We were talking about this before when we come through Element Games. We mentioned it in the last live stream how much Middle Earth stock Element Games now stock.
Yes,
and it's the stuff that's direct order only.
Yeah.
And they've replenished the shelves again. There's a lot of the Hobbit stuff.
Well, I was here last weekend and I looked over at the shelves when we walked through it, and it's like half empty.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Is all that sold?" He's like, "Yeah, it's gone." And they're having to place orders like literally every single day to make sure that they're getting
restock.
New stuff back in.
So check out Element Games website. Use the affiliate link in the description below. There's loads of stock there. But yeah, guys, you're in Leicester. You're not too far away. One of these drives, and you all want to jump in the car, come down, hang out. Could even film some stuff if you wanted to.
Definitely.
Let us know, and I'm sure we can arrange that. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Gavin says, played the Relic one on my last game. It felt like a ring of roses around the board. Yeah, it can do. I think I've been in games where, again, that comes down to a bit of a stalemate where you're both sat on one, and you kind of neither of you want to dig it up
roll for it
because it's the last one, and then sometimes you think if I roll this now, I could get a 6.
It's like the first couple are like almost like free tries.
Yeah.
And it's annoying when you're playing someone
and they get the 6 first time, and you're like,
oh God, no.
So now I'm just chasing them. So that one is completely down to dice rolls as well.
Yeah. Tom says, competitive scenario, love Fog of War. Just needs to be enough points to have enough heroes to make it worthwhile. Narrative scenario has to be Amon-Hen or Balance 2.
Yeah,
good man.
Definitely.
Great minds and all that. He also says, they're also my favourite parts of the movie. It's funny that. Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's most recognisable.
Yeah. And low model count as well. So
model count, but the cool stuff.
Yeah, I think something like Helm's Deep would be amazing to play, but it's going to take you days to play like a Siege and stuff like that. So
Luke's building a true scale Helm's Deep.
He is, yeah.
So we've got 3 or 4 sets of the Helm's Deep and the Minas Tirith.
Mm-hmm.
They're cool model kits, but they're nowhere near the right scale. Luke of Luke's APS, friend of the channel, is building a true scale one. So I think the walls are going to be like this high.
That wasn't secret, that was it.
I don't know if he's actually making it. You did not hear it here.
Yeah. I don't think it is, but just making sure I started to switch there.
Joe Holzman says, I like Contest of Champions, but then I like bringing big fighty heroes and just throwing the models into
Joe Holzman's the same as me.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like getting big stuff, having a big massive old scrap. Carl Daly, I'd love to come up to Stockport trying to get the miss to let me come to the weekend in October. Bring her. Gaz Baller brought his missus.
Yeah, she loved it.
She sat out in the car for the entire weekend. No, we could partner the missuses up, send them off into Manchester for the day.
Yeah.
Although
on the 192,
we discussed
they'll
this,
never come back.
Is it a good thing to partner missuses up, because then they'll be like,
so how much does your fella spend?
How much does he spend? Oh, he doesn't spend that much. They're only a couple of quid. These models,
they're only a fiver each.
Yeah.
Oh well, I know he bought that one for 50 quid.
You what? How much? Yeah, come up, mate. It'd be great to see you at the weekend.
Yeah, awesome.
Gavin says Terra and Defense 8 with Blades of Dead seems decent.
Yeah, that's cool.
We said that they're quite one-dimensional.
Yeah.
I think that's my only kind of criticism. You've got no shooting.
There's only so much you can do with them.
Yeah,
but you basically do what they do in the films. You just roll through things.
Yeah. The only challenge you might have is when you come up against things like elves. So higher courage, especially if they've got some buffs and things as well. And obviously they've higher fight value than you, so you don't tend to win combats enough to be able to win.
They don't do great against monsters. If you can get them on the floor, you can knock them down. They're not great.
They do against trolls. So they're wounded on.
It depends what you've got. Like, I suppose that's the thing. Like elves have got, like you've got the different spells that can knock them down. I always think that's like one of my main aims if I play against Armies, get them on the floor, because then you can throw things in and you're not running the risk of getting hit back. So
yeah, definitely. Pretty sure you retracted a message for some reason.
Oh, you naughty boy!
What did you say?
Andrew says, right, time to crash. Glad I caught a bit. Hopefully next time I'll be less exhausted and can watch it all. Good night, brother.
Good night.
He's
I'm
probably
sure
gone to bed now, but if you're watching this back, good night, man. Sleep well.
Tom Glover says, reckon we'll get the new King of the Dead before the Weekender. Any hope, or just a fool's hope? I think
a fool's hope. I think Throne of Skulls weekend you'll see it released. Yeah. I think. Gavin says, I asked about a release date for the new Dead. Warhammer guys don't know. They couldn't give me a date.
I don't think they tend to. I think even people who are in the know, I don't think they like to commit to stuff, because if it changes, then people get all annoyed about it. You know what us nerds are like. We all get really annoyed about stuff, don't we?
Yeah. And Gavin says, Ron could do with a new AMR.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Definitely. You can say that one.
Nomagestus. Yeah, Magestus. I hope I've said that correctly. If I haven't, I do apologise. I'm really hoping on an expanded Dunland list, me too. Rider, an elite unit, and maybe one or two named heroes. Even historic ones would be cool. I'm quietly confident that we will. We spoke about it a lot. So yeah, I'm keeping everything crossed, brother. And I hope so. I don't recognise your name. I don't think you've been in the chat before. So if it's your first time, buddy, let us know where you're from and how you heard about the channel. That'd be awesome. Carl Dwyer says, I think new Dunland models will come when they do an Ariado focus book with new scenarios involving Elves of Rivendell and the Dunedain. Quite possibly. As I said, I'm not saying that I wouldn't like to see them, because I would love to see them. But yeah, it's. I don't think it necessarily fits with kind of what Rohan at War will potentially be. I think it's going to be literally about kind of during the War of the Ring. And I agree. And from the film aesthetic, especially, they are, it was kind of all the Wildman type things. You know what I mean? But as you said, they might do like an appendix. Yeah, type I think thing, I think there'll be an appendix, and I think that's what they'll do, because I don't think they're going to want to. Rohan, after this next book, Rohan has been hit in the two. Yeah, sort of books. Two out of the three. Yeah. So I think it'll be a while before we sort of see them go back to it. My thoughts anyway. Yeah. Tom Glover, think a new plastic aimer is a certainty, Gavin. It's been needed for ages. It will be a great figurehead to announce with the release. Certainly would. I think even a plastic one would be amazing. I'd be happy with any. The quality of the plastics has been amazing lately. Gavin says, I would like a new Aimer. Found among my collection 12 Royal Guard on horses, so want third and leading 8, and Aimer can have 4. They one might be a must to get hold of. Yeah, it's a cool model as well. Everyone keeps complaining about the shield. It doesn't bother me that much. I think it's a cool model. I get what people are moaning about, but get over it. Yeah, it is what it is. You heard it here, guys. Get over it. It is what it is. Carl, I really hope they bring Theodred and Grimbold back from Made to Order. I think they'll release them. Yeah, I think
they'll
once
just be
the new book comes out, they'll get all that.
I think a new Theodred would be
I
nice.
was going to mention on this green. That's what he retracted.
Yeah.
He said it wrong. I was going to mention it when he said it, Green Tree.
Blowing your load on one model.
I didn't want to lower the tone, but I'm glad that you have.
Yeah, as soon as I said it, I was like...
I bet you were waiting for it.
I was like, shouldn't have said that.
Hashtag blowing your load on one model. It's better on two.
Shut up. Carl Dewey, I really hope back to bring up Theodred model. I'd like to see a new Theodred. I don't think the last one was very good.
It's not the best.
The foot model's a bit janky. He's like a bit kind of...
bit cartoony for me.
Yeah, and a bit like monkey faced.
Yeah.
So not great.
Isn't the mounted model, the AMA model's torso and legs just with different positions?
No, they've got slightly different. Slightly different armour, yeah. Right. Scott W. Eagles are so much fun. Love Guahir and Radagast on Eagle, but I still want that Thranduil.
Yeah, Thranduil's awesome.
Yeah, very cool.
Tom Glover, haven't painted any Rowan since the new edition, but my previous edition army was a relief of Helm's Deep list. Aemir, Erkenbrand, Gandalf, and a bunch of riders. Reckon this will be a Legendary Legion. Something along them lines, I think.
I don't know whether it would be just that or whether it would be the entire kind of lot, but I'd like to see potentially like Aemir, Erkenbrand, and Gandalf would have to be in one warband, and then like the other warband would have to include just Royal Guard, Theoden, Gamling, Aragorn, Legolas.
Yeah,
I don't know if that would work or whether it would be kind of too overpowered. Maybe I don't know, but something like that would be quite.
There'll
cool.
be something with Halday's Elves as well, I think.
Yeah, I think there'll be like a Deeping Wall Legendary Legion.
All on foot.
Yeah, all on foot. So Rohan and Elves.
Yeah.
I think Aragorn will be able to lead them.
Yeah,
because he kind of leads the charge.
The
Elves.
Yeah, 3 hunters. Theoden, Haldir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah. Foehammer. LOL at Green Tree. Good to have you in, Tim. Glad you could join us and you weren't overtaken by battle companies, I'll just say.
Yeah, yes.
Green Tree says, Glinio is supposed to be on #watch. Yes.
Yeah. Gavin just says, not sure if Rowan will get another Legion so quick, but hey, you never know. I think they absolutely will.
I think you'll see a couple new ones.
I think there'll be Fords of Eisen as well.
Yes.
That'll with Erkenbrand and Elfhelm and Theodred.
Yeah. Glyn says he's watching the NFL.
A lot of people watch NFL, don't they?
Yeah, I'm not into it, mate.
I'm not into it. No,
okay.
I'm not into sports really.
Yeah.
Tom says, I think that they'll get some in Rohan at War. I think a Fords of Eisen will be one, and a Lothlorien Rohan Alliance will be one. Probably be a few Isengard Legions too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think we've already covered most of that. Brian F90, evening all.
How you doing, Brian? Good to have you, brother.
Is that a new name?
New name. I've not recognised that name before. If it's your first time in the chat, Brian, let us know where you're from and how you heard of the channel, and I hope you're enjoying the stream so far.
Christoph says, the name's Hungarian, it's like Czech, but with the H at the end.
Christoph Czech.
Czech. Cool. Excellent.
Good to meet you, brother.
Great to have you in. Gavin says, I'd like that. Need a reason to get some elves painted.
Halday's Elves, the original metal ones, are gorgeous.
They are, aren't they? I bought some as part of the Made to. I had a few already. I was a bit disappointed in the price because they were a little bit expensive, more expensive than I would have liked them to have been. If they'd have been a little bit cheaper,
you got more.
I'd have bought more. But yeah, they're really cool. They're just lovely models.
Yeah. Christoph?
Yep. Thanks for the tips. The dragons are maybe too big for now. I'm more humble. So just loads of goblins.
Moria's a really fun army. Angmar is a fun army too, but it can be not so fun for your opponent to play against in some cases.
Yeah, I think it depends what sort of player you are. Because I think again, if you just have all like the big,
but if you bring in a shade,
if you bring in a shade, you're throwing.
There's nothing wrong if you've got shades, bring them. But yeah,
filthy people.
But Moria's a cool. It looks cool on the board. It's very recognisable. We keep saying that. There's some cool options in there. The heroes have got some nice special rules. It's a nice.
Again, it's like kind of like synergies between some of the heroes, and Groblog can increase the fight value and stuff like that. So yeah, you can just goblins with all cool stuff.
And if all else fails, Balrog.
Bat swarms.
Bat swarms are cool.
They're cool. They can cause some damage. If you can get some. Because they halve the fight value, don't they? So actually, if you can, your goblins can then do some real damage. Because you're getting loads of them around, just because there's so many of them.
Yeah,
just keep them safe.
Green Tree says, looking forward to seeing these new Shire boards.
If you're on Facebook, you could have maybe seen some of the folks.
I've posted some in the group.
Already.
There's been some new names in the chat. So guys, if you're not already on the Facebook group, go on Facebook and search Top Table Gaming Community. Join the group. It's an amazing little group. We talk a lot about Middle-earth because that's our main system, but it's multi-system. It's a lot about the hobbies. It's a lot about painting and terrain building. It's a cool group. Get on there and join. We're nearly at 1,000 people. I think when we hit 1,000 members on there, we'll have to have a big competition and
I think we will
give something away. Give a holiday to the Maldives or something away.
Yeah, because we're rolling in it, like, you know. Tom Glover, agreed. I've got some Arwood Lothlorien elves, but to be honest, I can't see me painting them up unless it's for a legendary legion. I think absolutely we'll definitely see one. Glyn Seymour says Amon Hen. I think that's his favourite scenario. Squid Boy.
Squid Boy.
Just passed it
nice
by.
name.
Yeah. Hi guys, new to tabletop gaming. Loving your work, guys. I bought Pelennor, busy painting. Now little one is down. Just moved to Manchester. What can I do next for some casual fun gaming? That was almost like a perfectly built segue into the weekend.
Whereabouts in Manchester have you moved to? And yeah, it's Stockport Element Games, which is where we're based. It's a great gaming club. It's a great gaming hall. There's loads of systems here. There's loads of stuff to do. But yeah, like I said, get on the Facebook group. But also, yeah, just come down. Let us know where in Manchester you're from, and we'll come. We'll play you. We'll have some friendly games. You know,
definitely.
We're all for that. No problem.
Absolutely. Josh, he says at Top Table Gaming, Ben is correct on this. Talking about this. It's an interesting interaction. It's the captain's combat, not Dane's. At least this has been the way it's been ruled at events I've been to. That's how I'd have ruled it, if I'm honest. But you know.
Yeah.
And Richard Woods agrees with me as well, so I think you've been overruled there.
I'm not having it.
Well,
I'm not having it.
Tom says, using these models as visuals is making me think the Middle-earth live streams could do with a small point live bat rep akin to the Palantir's 50 point
We'll do a 49 point bat rep.
Something to think about.
Because 51 points already gone.
That's on the Thursday night at Ardicon. It's the 51. So yeah, we could do a 49 point bat rep.
Glyn agrees with me. So Glyn overrules you all.
Well,
Glyn knows everything.
Well, does he though? Does he? You don't roll if you get a heroic combat or not, just in order. Yeah. Tom Glover. Plus, I agree with Steve. You're going to have to see which combat to do first. Regardless of who wins the roll off, it's the same combat. So you wouldn't roll off in that case. Mike Blake loves the idea of a small live bat.
Maybe.
We could make it happen.
Yeah.
We'd have to stop chatting quite so much though, because
I know. We do talk a lot.
Getting on, Fohammer, Tim. Or it would be a pointless roll off at least. I think we've covered that one. Rich Woods, you're not rolling off to see which combat you're doing first. You roll off to see which hero performs the heroic action first.
I have to disagree. I'd like to see this. If it's that big a thing, I'd like to see it FAQ'd, because it's the heroic. It's the combat. It's still the same. It's still the same combat. It's not one's doing one and you're cancelling. Because if that's the case, if he's cancelling his combat, is he not in combat anymore then? Which you can't do that.
You know, is he resolving his heroic? Because you're resolving his heroic combat.
But you're resolving them at the same time.
I don't know. So
that's my opinion. Yeah. I'm not the kind of person who gets into.
No, I'm not. Rich Woods, you're not rolling off to see which combat you're doing first. You roll off to see which hero performs the heroic action first. But
then at the same time.
Josh saying, I think Steve's argument makes more sense. I would tend to agree, but I found it ruled as Ben argued more often at events. You resolve heroic actions one at a time. You wouldn't expect to benefit from opponent's heroic combat if you were to win.
But it's because you're both using the mic in the same combat.
I get it. I see it from both sides, really. It's all good on that. Be interesting to see how other people. Just avoid War of the Ring was a lot of fun once in a while with friends and some drinks, but definitely not something I'd play regularly and not competitively. Great for big games like Pelennor Field. I think with something like that, you need really long rounds because actually
there was a lot of like auto wins in War of the Ring, from what I can remember. There was a lot of rules that.
It's like kind of cyclical rules. So if you happen to roll enough dice, and like Aragorn could just pretty much tear through everything.
There was certain magical powers that could totally decimate certain lists and things like that. If I remember correctly, I didn't really look too much into it, but I can remember a lot of chat around at the time, and that's why it kind of fell by the wayside because it did have so. There was a group actually, and I think they were around at the first Ardicon. They had a table set up at the first Ardicon where someone come and demoed it. I'm sure it was.
Might have done.
War of the Ring.
I wasn't.
There was a group that the house ruled a lot of the stuff that was a little bit bent
Right.
And they still played it. But I do think if the hobby keeps going the way it's going, with the support it's getting from us guys, and we keep buying the toys, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't happen.
No.
It's a smart business decision from GW to.
And do you know what? Even if not that many people play it, those people that are playing it, it's another revenue stream for them.
It's the same. It's the same. We're using the same models, so it's like I say, if they bring out box sets where you're saving £50 by buying that box set, people are going to buy it.
Yeah, you'll do it.
Or they'll split it. Friends will split the box and things like that.
Yeah.
Rich Woods, he's referring to a page in the rule book, players alternate performance
heroic action. The argument is that they're both doing it at the same time because it's one combat. So I think that's.
I get the point. I get the point that you're making, Richard, but I think, and again, this is just my opinion. This is what it is. I think we're overcomplicating it. It's the one combat, so because that's kind of like saying if you both heroic strike. Yeah, but
that's done with the combat, not you don't do it as an alternating.
So all right, so. and again, I might trip myself up here, but just quickly off the top of my head, I'm thinking if you change it to heroic strike, correct, and they both heroic strike and they strike up, and no one dies in the combat, right? But then there's another heroic combat over here somewhere, and he gets charged.
He's still got his strike.
Has he still got his strike, or is he not struck yet, or what?
If he's done, no, he's already struck because he's already won that combat. Or they both survived. He's still got his strike up for that turn.
Yeah,
because that's a tactic people will strike up to stop them getting charged by other stuff.
But so that's what I'm saying. So why do they get to do it at the same time?
It's different because that's not done. That's not done in alternating.
Will it?
Well, we'll leave that one. We'll part
I'm confusing myself now.
Yeah, you are, aren't you?
Yeah, no, but it is a similar thing, though.
Yeah. But what about magic?
It is a similar thing, though, isn't it?
No, it's not. Anyway,
I think. All right. Then. So what if there was two evil? What if there was two evil models and one struck and one combated?
Yeah.
And you rolled off and you decided to do the combat first. Could this guy then? Can he not strike then? Because it's not his heroic.
No, because he's part of the combat. You strike when you do that combat.
So so you've never done that. You've never struck and combated in the same combat.
Yeah.
Right. But by going off that thing, you're doing one heroic at a time. So you can do the combat first.
You're alternating the heroic combats. The strike just does. You can resolve that at any time. You don't resolve. The strike first.
Yeah. I'm confusing myself.
You are. Go back.
This is what happens, you see,
Grandad Steve.
Yeah, this is what happens. But I still think I'm right. Tom Glover.
Yeah. What's about a revival of the GBHL podcast Middle Earth World Cup, but on the live stream, one game per stream. Could happen. Maybe could happen. We've discussed something.
It's a GBHL podcast thing.
That is. We discussed something this week.
Yes.
Maybe forgotten, but we've discussed something, so it might be something that we look at doing.
Yeah.
By the way, if you've never watched...
If this stream gets popular enough,
we'll do it.
We'll do something.
Yeah, definitely. By the way, if you've never watched the Middle Earth World Cup, go on the GBHL and watch it. It's absolutely golden content, especially matchup of the day. Yeah.
Check out all the old videos. They're all great.
They're all
I know
great.
that it's the older rules, but it's still a lot of fun. You still learn a lot.
Because I learned a lot from watching those first time round, because there wasn't really anybody else making... I think these days there's loads of people making Middle Earth content, which is absolutely fantastic. But at that stage, it was only GBHL, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So
setting trends.
Yeah, exactly. Trend setting. I was just trying to think that there's no really any other games which are in a similar position to where Middle Earth was back then. There's not games that have kind of got like a had a massive kind of cult following that have just kind of died back, that have kind of resurged like this. Is there really?
No.
Unless I'm just not aware of them.
Or are we just in this little bubble?
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
I'm liking your thinking, Tom Glover. So we'll see. We'll have a chat, see what we can do.
Rohan, snow trolls. That's what we want, says Jez. Green Tree says, does anyone remember the Palantir?
Yeah,
it rings a bell.
That was that really old show that was cancelled. Was it? It got to like 99 episodes or something.
99.
Then they bottled it because they didn't want to do 100.
Just dropped off.
Yeah. Georgios Bov, that's a new name.
Welcome, Georgios. It's your first time. Let us know where you're from, buddy, and how you heard about the channel. And make sure you check out again. We've not got our friend here putting links in.
No.
If someone could put a link into the Top Table Gaming Community Facebook group in the chat, that would be amazing. Click that and join. We'd love to have you.
Definitely. He says, from your opinions, which is the strongest faction of good side and which for evil side?
I don't think there is a strongest.
I don't think there is. I think every tournament seems to be... There's different armies that come sort of first, second, and third.
That's the beauty of this game at the moment, is a lot of the stuff still is untried, untested.
I feel like there isn't really like a meta as such.
There isn't. Yeah, there's not a faction that jumps out at me now that I think that's a strong contender for. There are strong factions.
Yeah, I think
each faction has its strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah,
I think.
Goblin Town with a shade won at Ardicon. Won at Ardicon.
Yeah, I don't like stuff like that.
No, I don't like stuff. I don't like stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't like that, but obviously people are playing competitively and things. So, but that's a strong army. But actually, you still need to be a good player to be able to play that. To get to make sure everything is positioned in the right way. There's no way that you can win just by having there is an auto win.
There's no auto win armies.
I strongly maintain that a good player with a bad army could still beat somebody that is less talented with a with a more optimized army. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, true. So sorry that we can't give you a definitive answer. And what I would say is, which do you think are the best and why?
Yeah. Top level, loved the Palantir Green Tree. Single-handedly got me back into the game. Left alone years and years ago when I was at school. Then looked up the game recently. I came across that, got me hooked. That's awesome. Kind of how I got into it as well. I'm much in the same position. I'm coming up to 3 years back in the hobby now.
Yeah. Ruth says,
Weekender.
Are the T's supposed to be there?
Squid Boy lives in Chorlton, so local.
Only up the road from me.
Yeah.
Just bought stuff online from Element. I hope you used our affiliate link, Squid Boy. But yeah, you're only in Chorlton. You're up the road, so we're in Stockport here. So if you ever want a game, get the stuff you've brought from Element, get it painted, get it down here. We'll give you a run out. We'll have some fun, some drinks and stuff. Thanks for the invite. We'll pop over. It might take me a bit of time to get all painted though. Done the dead and nearly done
the orcs. That's pretty good going. If you want to borrow stuff.
We've got
or
stuff
even you want to come down and play with one of our armies.
Yeah. If you've got an army that you're in the middle of painting, so you've got Pelennor, then I take it by painting that. We have a lot of stuff already painted, so you can try the armies out before you finish painting. If I get halfway through painting them, try them out and go, I don't want them.
I don't like it.
But yeah, it's by all means you can use whatever we've got. That's cool. Jed says, nice one, Squid Boy. Welcome to a great world.
It is a great world, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's. I've joined quite a few communities since, and I still maintain that this is by far the nicest community. There's very rarely any kind of nastiness or kind of bickering and things, and generally it's kind of a bit more light-hearted than other games.
You get debate, like we just had a bit of a debate on the rules thing. Yeah. I'm one of them.
You're not asked.
I'm not that frustrated. I mean, you have an opinion on everyone's going to have a different opinion on things, but generally, because we've joined other groups now, we've joined 40k groups and Warcry groups and different groups for this, that, and the other. And yeah, you're right. The Middle Earth community is the most relaxed. We still have our little things with rules queries, but once they get cleared up, everyone just cracks on with it. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of the stuff doesn't come up. No, a lot of the rules queries that we go, what about this? Is a very, very rare occurrence that it will come up. And it's good to have healthy debate anyway.
I think it is. And and within a game that has got so many different interactions between different heroes and things, they obviously can't test out everything and have rules for everything. So occasionally there is going to be times, and when we've played friendly games, we've just rolled for stuff and it just cracks on with the game a little bit.
And sometimes it's nice to be proven wrong. You think, do you know what, actually I didn't know. I didn't know all that. I thought, I've learned something there.
So it's a great community and just lovely bunch of people as well. If it wasn't for
me,
obviously you, James Clark, there's loads of people that I think are fantastic from the community. I wouldn't be sat here now. I picked my stuff up again to just do some painting. I wouldn't be playing it if it wasn't for you.
Well, I love this game. This game is what got me into wargaming. I love this game, but I love the community more.
Yeah.
So if I go to an event, I go to an event for the social side, the Saturday night out, the meal together, the drinking together, just chatting, having a laugh. I've made a lot of friends that I'm still good friends with.
Yeah.
And hang out with outside of the game.
Yeah, Andrew Cox is another one. I chat to him on the regular, and I met him when he was playing doubles with you. What was that, 2 years ago?
That's the first time me and Andrew actually met.
Yeah.
But we never look back.
No.
Never look back.
Never look back.
Yeah.
Richard Wood says, "Squid Boy, I'm not far from Manchester. Message me on Facebook if you fancy a casual game sometime." I think Richard Wood's from like Chorley way, so not a million miles away.
No.
Squid Boy, I tend not to use Facebook, but willing to overcome our reservations. Thanks, at Richard Woods.
Step out your comfort zone.
Step out your comfort zone. Just don't join any other groups. Don't befriend anybody else. Just come onto the top table gaming community. It's a great place, lovely people.
Yeah, but playing some games with us a lot of Middle Earth, you won't look back. So I highly recommend it, highly. And we have, like I say, we've got a couple of events coming up. The Weekender in October, which we've got a very casual one-day event on the Saturday and a Battle Companies event on the Sunday. Check that out. If you search Top Table Legacy Weekender 2 on Facebook, you'll find the event page. And then we have the league finale, which is looking like it's going to be a big one.
Yeah.
But it's still a very cool event to come to. There's going to be a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Of varied skill set.
Don't get me wrong. It's probably going to be quite competitive. There are going to be people that want to win, but there's going to, how many?
10% of the people.
Yeah, but how many tickets are sold so far?
Pushing 60.
So there's a lot of people there. Not everyone is going to be there. A lot of people want to come because they're playing on cool boards. They get to play SBG before Christmas. Great event to come to. So if you can get to it, I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, check out our boards you'll see some of the boards on the battle reports. So make sure you go back to the back catalogue. I keep saying it, but go back, check out them boards are the boards you'll be playing on at the Weekender and at the Scouring. So check that out.
Far more immersive.
Yeah, it's cool. It's just a lot of fun.
It's awesome. Tabletop Painter, so that's Anton Cook, says, "Evening chaps, loving the stream. Lovely to have you,
man.
Mate. Yeah,
good to have you.
Thank you. Just avoid any tips for converting metal models? I've always had difficulty chopping them up. Is it just a lot of patience? You're probably better off.
I've cut up many a metal model. They are a pain in the backside, especially when they've got very thick cloaks and stuff that you're cutting through. Knight of Pelennor, 2 of those I cut up. And it was a nightmare.
Why did you cut them up?
Because I wanted a foot model.
As you do.
So I made 2.
As you do.
Got two Knight of Pelennor foot models. A very decent. I don't know. Very decent razor saw. Not the cheap naff ones that you get on eBay. You get a decent one. You get what you pay for with tools. So spend the money. Make your life a lot easier. Or you can get an attachment for a hobby drill, which has got like a little circular saw blade on it. That's not too bad, but you will need a lot of the blades because they will blunt very quick, and you don't just whack it up full speed and think that's your best bet at getting through it quick. That's not necessarily always the case. You want to go slower, otherwise you're just going to burn out the blade. But yeah, they're not easy to cut through.
So what you're saying is take it slow. Don't go in.
Take it slow. Yeah. Don't. What did you say? Don't blow your load.
Don't blow your load.
Don't blow your load too quick. Take your time, and you'll be all right.
Yeah. Dave says, "Do you have a razor saw, Josh?" I think you've covered that one.
Yeah.
Green Tree says, "Where is that Middle Earth top table logo I edited?" It was at the beginning.
Yeah, it was at the beginning. You'll see it at the end of the stream, and it was at the starting soon bit at the beginning as well. So
it was.
We used it.
We have used it, absolutely. Yeah. Where are we?
Josh Devoy?
Yeah. I did at one point, but I had a bit of difficulty using it. Potentially, it was just, again, as you say, if it was not an expensive one, if it was one that was, not particularly sharp. I've got an Army painter one, which it doesn't feel. It's fine because I was cutting up ball sword and stuff with it, which is absolutely fine for. But I think it would probably struggle going through anything that's thicker or metal.
Spend decent money on your tools, and if you look after your tools, they'll look after you. Don't always search hobby saw. Search jeweler's saw, and you'll get some of the better sort of named branded ones. But there's a lot. There's so much out there now. And get a clamp, because razor saws, they're not called razor saws for nothing. I've seen some pretty nasty injuries with razor saws. It wouldn't take much to take the end of your finger off with a razor saw. So get some clamps. Don't hold it with your fingers while you're cutting very close. Get some clamps which have got like rubbers on, so it doesn't damage the model, and use it that way. That's what I do. And practice makes perfect.
Thanks for that safety, Steve.
Yeah, health and safety. Always thinking about the viewers,
Yeah, absolutely.
Headless Body of Agnew. I do recognise this now. I think we've had you on before. If there's not a strongest faction, is there a weakest? There isn't a weakest, but I think there are some factions that are not fleshed out enough yet.
Yeah.
So there's not enough to them.
I think, and again, at different points levels.
Yes.
I think there are some, like we were talking about Arnor earlier. I think if you go, if you did 1,000 point or 800 points of Arnor, I think they're probably going to really struggle because you don't have those kind of bubbles around them.
Right.
Things like potentially like the Ruffians, because they haven't got many spear supports. Like, yeah, you'd have the numbers, but actually, I think it's going to be very difficult for you to.
Then you've got Sharky and Worm.
Yeah,
Or Saruman.
but again, it's only affects a very small part of the board. So again, potentially smaller points they do really well. But
depends who's playing it. I think depends on the player, their skill set, their knowledge of the army. So I think you'd find it really hard to say that's the weakest faction or that's the strongest faction. Sorry, that's a really boring answer, but I do think it is fact. Ruth says try to add the link to the YouTube deleted it. I think we've got to post it as
we've got
table gaming.
Right, okay.
We'll get all the links are below anyway, so check the links out below.
Josh, it says Sharky's Rogues. Potentially.
Yeah, maybe.
Restart says, I think SBG is a really balanced compared to other games like 40k. I've not played enough 40k, but from what I read, it does sound like there are some imbalances in it.
Yes. I think with 40k, it's such a because 40k is a huge game.
It's massive. Yeah.
Each faction has like its own codex, its own special rules, and I know we have different. We used to have like the faction books and things like that, but 40k is massive. So I think what tends to happen is you're not necessarily going to get everyone who knows every rule for every army, and a lot of people kind of get stumped by they'll put their army out and then sort of go, I've got this special rule. Poof. Your army's dead, and you go, well, I didn't if I knew you could do that, I wouldn't have put them there, kind of thing. That kind of thing.
And I think what's great about us, about this game, is actually you don't necessarily need every book to be able to kind of know that. You can pick up the Armies of the Lord of the Rings or Armies of the Hobbit, and actually you've got pretty much every faction. Now there are some additions, obviously in the extra books and stuff, but actually that's minimal against 95% of the armies that you're probably going to play against. They're covered in those two books. And depends again. If you only like the Lord of the Rings stuff and you only play against people with Lord of the Rings, you only need the one book. So I think you can get to know the profiles pretty well.
Sam Little says late to the party. Welcome, Sam.
Hi, Sam. Good to have you in.
I don't recognise your name, Sam. It might just be me being old and my memory going. But if you are new to the chat, let us know where you're from, Sam, and how you found us. That'd be very, very interesting. Tom Glover.
Did you decide on a new name for the stream? You said discuss it later, but I think getting distracted by rules queries, in which Steve is totally right, may have got in the way. So we've had a bit of a chat about it.
Yes. So
we aren't still quite decided because we want something that is going to be recognisable. Now, there were some great suggestions there, but they were very Tolkien
and actually scholar-esque.
And we had a bit of a chuckle to them, but actually a lot of the people that kind of might watch this or that we want to kind of branch out to, and we're talking about kind of getting a wider audience and stuff, we need it to be kind of very relevant to them. So we're still kind of perfecting, I think, what we want it to be.
That thread is still open to people putting in their thoughts and suggestions for the name of the stream, but we do want it. We want it to appeal to people who may not necessarily know or have read Tolkien's works. So we did have a lot of really nice names that kind of but some people might not know that. So we want something punchy, something short, straight to the point. Yes, SBG related. But also something that people are going to click, because we want to grow this community. We want to grow this stream. We want to get a load of us in, every other week and chat Middle Earth and talk about things. And I can tell you how many times I'm right about rules queries and you guys are wrong.
Rich Woods, on that point, rules queries are great, especially when you get proven wrong, as it teaches you something new that you can potentially use to your advantage. Absolutely. Last weekend, Ben told me that you can't back away over obstacles, even if your cave drag towers over it. I used this today to trap a model. That's how I ruled it in the, because it kind of made sense. When you read the rules, it does say that they can't back away over obstacles. It was just that his cave drag, by moving back an inch, it was just kind of teetering on the edge. But that's kind of the way it was ruled, because of the way that the rules are wrhagal Targaryen. Hello, good to have you in. Hello lads, enjoying the stream. Purchased my copy of Battle Companies yesterday. Excited to get my hands on the ready for the weekender.
Nice.
And yesterday I used the affiliate link.
Good man.
Good stuff.
Absolute legend.
Excellent. Reese Taylor, really looking forward to scouring. I want to convert Knights of Umber, where is it? On Fellbeast to think I'm better off getting 2 models and cutting one in half.
What did I do with mine now? I think I used them because I've got a few wraiths of the named wraiths converted on Fellbeast, and I went the long route, if I remember correctly, on a couple of them where I got a mounted wraith on a horse,
Carved out the horse,
and then done it that way.
I think you know,
waist swap's a good way.
Waist swap or just a head swap.
That's lazy.
It is lazy, but it
You're
depends.
talking to me here.
I know, but
I'd be like, ooh.
But it depends. It depends on the talent of who's doing it. Like if I was to do a head swap, I'd be dead happy that I've just done a head swap.
Yeah.
But you know, doing a waist swap and then getting all the green stuff to kind of to match up and everything might be beyond the
and it goes.
So
back
don't
to,
look down on people who can't convert.
It goes back to what Josh was saying about using like a razor saw. Like it took forever.
Yeah,
it took forever to do, and then you're going back and you're doing it again, and you're going back and you're doing it again. But yeah, I look forward to that. Reese does a lot of cool stuff, so I am looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
Tom Glover.
I'm not complaining at Richard Woods. When I first heard the query, I was in agreement with Ben, but hearing the discussion, I changed over to Steve. Sorry, Ben. It's absolutely fine. Again, you know, happy to be proven wrong.
Yeah.
No, just waiting for the FAQ.
Yeah.
Aren't we all? Dan Gross. Dan G. Ross. What? G. Ross in his house. Hey, buddy. Good to have you in. Stephen Devlin, cheers lads, enjoyed it tonight, catch you next time. It's getting to everyone's bedtime.
I know,
now. We've got 8 minutes to go. So can we get the red?
Take care, Stephen.
Yeah, see you later, buddy. Rich Woods, Tom Glover, don't listen to Steve. Have a read of pages 68, 69, all will become clear. Flying Marbles, Steve and Ben, Steve and
SBG, Steve and Ben gaming chat. Come on,
I like that.
Come on, Ben.
What else going on there? Yeah?
Teva, Amber, N.
Dan G. Ross, did I miss my question? Yes, you did. We have covered that one already, but you can go back and rewatch this again.
Yeah. Watch it 5 times, it helps us.
And chuck any more comments or any queries that you've got down in the comments.
Tom says, read. That's not my style. I just do as do you know what I'm the same?
Yeah. If somebody tells me something, I'm just like, yeah, do you know what? That'll do.
I've like Warcry. I've learned how to play it from saying to Jay, can I do that? Can I do that? And then just roll 6s.
Yeah. Win again. Tom Glover says, read, that's not my style. Yeah, that's it. Glyn says he's back. I didn't know you'd gone.
Yeah.
But glad to have you back in. Tom Glover says, I'll give it a read later. Richard Steve's reaction, priceless. And we've got to the end of the chat.
That's the end of the chat. And do you know what? I think we'll start wrapping up.
Yeah.
So I think thank you very much for joining us. There was a lot of chat to get through.
There was.
We did have a few topics, and there was a few other things that were put in on the Facebook post that we've not had a chance to get to, but we can also get to them next time. If you've got questions that you want to ask for the next stream, pop them in because what we'll do is we'll check the chat, the comments on this video before the next stream, as well as putting out another post asking people what they want to talk about.
Yep.
So we'll check that. So drop it in the comments below. Try and share the video, like we said. You know, get us out there to a wider audience. The GBHL and the Lord of the Rings Miniatures Rocks has a lot of people in it.
It does.
We would love to get this chat to be very popular, and if it's popular, we will keep doing it. And the more people that's in, the more questions we get.
We kind of aspire towards certain other kind of chat showy type programs or like podcasts, live streams that are out there that you know that no longer run. But you know we'd like to get to sort of to be sort of as renowned as those guys are, shall we say?
I really like talking about SBG.
Yeah, so do I. I think you can tell.
I really like listening to what you guys have to say. I really like the run up to it. I like all the stuff we do on the channel, but this for me, I didn't think this would be as popular as it's been the last couple of times we've streamed. So thank you very much for doing that. Make sure you check out all our links below, because we have, which we keep shouting from the rooftops, the Facebook group. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. Go and check us out, like us, share us, tick us, thumbs up us, whatever it is that people do, I don't know. Also check out the affiliate link if you're buying any models. The range that we have, which is now on the Element Games website, is
massive. I think they've
vast.
got pretty much everything now.
Vast, yes.
That's what Joe's saying.
So you're getting the direct only stuff at, is it 10% off?
I don't know.
Oh, is it not?
I don't know if it is.
You'd have to check it, but yeah, use our affiliate link anyway and check it out.
But there's like, if you order over a certain amount, you get free delivery, and obviously if you're buying other stuff, if you're into other games like 40k or Age of Sigmar, you still get your discount off other hobby stuff as well. So there are benefits to you, and by using that affiliate link, it just gives us like a little kickback from Element, doesn't it? And it just kind of helps. Helps.
Well,
us.
Green Cheese just asked, how does the affiliate link work? The way it works is basically that's us pushing Element Games' name out there. If you order off that, you get the discount anyway. And what it does, it gives Element Games a bit of a thumbs up and a tick that we've sent you there. And in return, we get a little kickback for that. It doesn't cost you any more money. It doesn't cost you any less. It's the same as whether you use our affiliate link or you don't use it. It just means that Element Games know we've sent you there. And Element Games have been very kind to us in the past and recently. We're in close affiliation with them. Obviously, Jay works for Element Games, so it's just a good thing for us, and it really helps us out. So yeah, that'd be great.
And all you need to do is click it once. I think, is it once a month? You need to click it. Yeah,
once
every 28 days.
Yeah, if you click the affiliate link now, every time you use that PC or that phone to go to their website, it's kind of, they get the thumbs up that it's us that's sending. So yeah, it's cool. What else do we need to talk about? We've got the Weekender coming up. Make sure you check that out. Middle Earth is very prominent at the Weekender.
Yep.
I know when you look at the event page, it doesn't seem so, but
it's because
we're there.
It's because other people don't know us as other systems, so we need to push that a little bit more. But Middle Earth, it's going to be great anyway.
Very relaxed. The one-day event on the Saturday, the Battle Companies event on the Sunday. Once you get your ticket, you can play whatever you want. So if you wanted to come and just play Middle Earth singles event on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday you thought, I want to try Warcry out, you can do. If you want to play Middle Earth on both days and just smash out SBG all weekend, you can
do.
You can do whatever you want. Once you've got your ticket, you can do whatever you want. Luke from Luke's APS is going to be there. Tommy Sewell, Golden Dean winner and judge, is going to be there helping people with their painting at the painting desks and holding little mini comps. There's loads going on. Check out the event page. I'm not going to stand here and waffle on about it. And also, there are still tickets available for the Scouring of Cheshire, the league finale in December. That is going to be very, very, very special. Very special. And I've been blown away thus far by the response it's had. So
been amazing.
Thank you very much. But I think, we'll call it there.
Yeah.
I've been Top Table Steve.
And I've been Top Table Ben.
And we will see you next time. Make sure you check the links like we've said, and put all your comments and questions for the next stream in the comments of this video. Thank you guys.
Great to see you guys. See you
care.
later.